continues. Federal agents said they made nearly 1,200 arrests on Monday. The Senate could vote today on confirming Sean Duffy as Transportation Secretary. There will be a new senator from Michigan after Democrat Gary Peters says he will not run for re-election next year. And after Monday's sell-off, shares in NVIDIA are trading higher. This is ABC News. Both Egypt and Jordan rejecting an idea from President Trump to take in thousands of Palestinians from Gaza, where tens of thousands of people are heading back to destruction.
More than 200,000 Palestinians returning to northern Gaza after being driven out by the Israeli army more than a year ago at the start of the war. Many coming back with mixed emotions. There's triumph, but also loss. Many finding bombed out buildings and rubble where their homes once stood. A lifetime of belongings now buried. Many will be forced now to live in tents until rebuilding starts, and that won't be for several months in the best of scenarios. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
The doomsday clock inching closer to midnight. The Bulletin of Atomic Scientists reset it today to 89 seconds to midnight, the closest it's ever been. They cite dangers from nuclear weapons, climate change, and potential threats from AI. I'm Brian Clark, ABC News.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
A congressional committee is asking Denver's mayor to testify about the city's immigration enforcement. The House Committee on Oversight and Government asking Mayor Mike Johnston to be in D.C. February 11th. Johnston says congressional Republicans should fix our broken immigration system.
We are never doing ICE's job for them or helping ICE in the process of stopping, detaining, or removing people. That's not our job. Our officers have enough to do in the city. They don't need to be doing federal law enforcement's job on immigration.
The mayors of New York City, Boston, and Chicago also received letters from the committee to testify at the hearing. The city of Denver is settling another lawsuit related to police actions taken during 2020's protests over the death of George Floyd. The city council approved a $980,000 settlement. 8 people accused Denver police officers of using excessive force against them while trying to break up the protests. Each plaintiff will receive between $60,000 and $300,000 from the settlement. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Yeah, we got a new crash down south on I-25, southbound at Colorado. Looks like most of the highway is going to be blocked to the left side anyway. You get by on the right shoulder, right lane area, but we're already backed up past Downing, just rock solid coming through. Northbound is going to be affected also. It's busy coming out of the tech center. They did clear the accident on the turnpike at Sheridan there. Westbound, it's right shoulder. Still seeing slowing from Federal as you're coming through that stretch. 270 still running just a little bit busy for us. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
When the wildfires struck Los Angeles,
severe fire weather conditions,
first responders from near and far came to the rescue.
All fire departments and all law enforcement will be prepared.
Now the music community has joined together to help at Fire Aid, a historic fundraising concert for the recovery of Los Angeles. Thursday night, starting at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. Live on the free iHeartRadio app's Hit Nation station.
And give what you can now at fireaidla.org.
Is credit card debt ruining your life? Did you know you have a right to settle that debt for much less than you owe? DebtBlue has helped people just like you resolve millions of dollars of high-interest credit card debt. They can help with payment relief, the burden of rising inflation, and have a large portion of your debt wiped clean. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, a free 10-minute phone call could save you thousands. Discover how to reduce or completely resolve your credit card debt. In fact, we're so sure that we can reduce your debt that we offer the Debt Blue Success Guarantee. We don't get paid unless your debt gets reduced or resolved, so there's absolutely no risk to call. For your free debt resolution plan, call 800-375-1158. That's 800-375-1158. The call is free. The consultation is free. The more you owe, the more you can save. Call now. 800-375-1158. 800-375-1158.
Denver's talk station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Cash. That's cash. Enter it now at khow.com. Keep listening to win on 630 KHOW.
Yeah. Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome, my friends, to the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take your complaints. Really, we just want to make your life a little bit better. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. This, my friends, is a show for you. You call 303-MARTINO or 303-713-8255. We got two lines open right now. You'll get right through. We got a lot going on. I've got Deputy Dimitri. I've got Deputy Dollar. And I haven't seen you forever. What's your name again? What is your name again? Oh, it's Chopper, Deputy Chopper. Chopper, you haven't been in for a couple months, man. How are you been doing?
Well, I was sick for 1 month, but I'm okay now.
That's a long time. You feeling better?
I feel real good now.
You look good, yeah. Glad to hear that. So we got plenty of deputies to fight for you today. Any updates real quick, guys? Anything exciting? Okay, go ahead. Deputy Chopper.
Last week, Mark, I don't know if you were here on a Tuesday.
I don't recall, probably.
Yeah, well, we had a gentleman that called in with a washing machine, and he was going to use Sears to repair it, and it was $700 to repair it. And I got the case. I talked to the gentleman, and I said, you know what? I've checked a lot of box stores, and you can buy a brand new washer.
For how much?
For less than $700.
For less than $700, and he was going to spend $700. Was it a pretty old washer?
16 years.
Well, funny enough, 16 years.
Yes.
So it wouldn't be worth putting $100 in.
Well, for some reason, he got a hold of Sears, and they said, send back the parts. We'll give you your $700, and I'm going to go buy a new washing machine, Chopper.
I cannot believe for the life of me that Sears, first of all, is still around. I thought they were completely gone.
Mark, it's not Sears. I know this company.
It's Kenmore.
They just bought, it's some service company that bought the name Sears.
Just bought the intellectual property.
Yeah.
Just like Craftsman.
Yeah, exactly. So it's got nothing to do with Sears as we used to know it.
Isn't that a shame? You think of I go back to Ward's, Montgomery Ward's. My grandfather actually worked there a million years ago. And then we had, of course, Sears, and then there was another big one.
Kenmore was another Sears
That was another Sears name, but what was another big box or these catalog stores that went away?
Did you say Service Merchandise yet?
Oh, that's gone. You guys remember, like the world's largest. Actually, Service Merchandise was interesting because they would sell music, they would sell computer stuff, they would sell a lot of stuff.
How about Spiegel's? Was that it?
What the hell, Spiegel's?
It was out east.
That was a catalog, wasn't it?
Yeah, major catalog here.
Housewares catalog with.
I don't remember that one. I mean, it sounds familiar, but I don't remember it. God, it's just our world has changed. Amazon's changed a lot. I don't think Macy's. I think they're closing a ton of stores this year.
Oh yeah, they're shutting down the one over there by Stapleton.
You know, I bought just the other day. I buy almost all my clothes, and Suzanne can acknowledge this. In fact, the last thing I bought outside of Costco.
Acknowledge or confirm. I don't know.
Yeah. The last thing outside of Costco, or clothes outside of Costco, would be Sam's Club. So, I mean, that's it. But listen, I bought a pair of Lucky jeans, okay? You go to Macy's, how much are Lucky's? I don't know. I mean, are they even still a thing?
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're
like $100,
$70, $80.
Yeah, they're like $20 at Costco. Come on. I mean, how do these people how does Nordstrom's even survive?
Who buys jeans for $70 a pair? That's crazy.
The person to my left, the person to my left, my wife, which is crazy. 303-713-8255. I got to warn everybody out there on something. Then I promise, Randy, I'll go to you first. We got some lines open. 303-713-8255. So the people here in Colorado, and I mean our government officials, does everybody know what Tabor is? I know everybody in this room is. So there's probably about $3 billion that'll be refunded to the people of Colorado, and it happens every year. So what's crazy is this guy sent me an article, and I looked it up. It's on Fox 31, local Fox. And Monday was the first day the IRS could start accepting tax returns. In Colorado, check this out. Tell me what you guys think of this. If you want to participate in the Tabor refund, for anybody here is going to be anywhere from like $700, depending on how much money you make or how much you file on your taxes, all the way up to, say, $1,300. So that's about typical. I think that's about what it was last year. You got to check a box on there now.
You have to opt into it.
You have to opt into the Tabor refund. Tell me that's not sneaky. Why? What other reason? Who out there filing taxes would be like, you know what? I don't want to opt in to Tabor this year.
Yeah, my suggestion was you got to opt into the whole income tax thing. How about that?
Why, though? Isn't that, that would be great, but why would you want to opt into Tabor? Is there any other reason besides, who would possibly say, no, I want Polish to keep the money?
Oh, nobody's going to say that, but the state is trying to keep the money from people who didn't know that they have to opt into that refund.
It's just insane, man. I just can't believe it.
It's pretty dirty.
It's very dirty. It's a dirty trick, and you would think they would just stop doing that. I mean, it's like, we voted for Tabor, it passed, and now it's just a total issue. Hey, Brooke White just joined us. Red Rocks RS. Brooke, how's the solar business going?
It's pretty wild right now.
Why? Why is it wild? That's crazy. I would think it's slow this time of year. It's cold out.
Well, with the Trump administration coming on, there's a lot of folks that have no idea what's going on with the federal tax credits or the grant programs or any of that stuff. So I think I have a meeting every 3 days trying to figure out what the next pathway is.
Well, what is it at this very second? I mean, none of the tax credits have gone away yet, right?
No, everything's expected to stay, and the grants are actually expected to stay. So they just extended when we can file applications. So that happened yesterday, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of people were really nervous about it, but it's actually turning out to be a really great thing for the solar space.
What he was talking about more than anything was probably the electric cars. That might be gone, the tax credits. And I'm not saying you're an expert on that, but I mean, I assume he has said that, but he never said anything about the solar credits going away.
No, not at all. And in fact,
people
it sounds
just
like
assumed it.
Exactly. And it feels like they might actually strengthen them. So you might be right about the EV vehicles. I have no idea. But for solar itself, they're actually looking really great.
So explain the grants. Is that still going on for commercial stuff?
Yeah, they actually opened up a new grant. So you have one that's going to cover 20%, and then you still have the other one that covers 50%. So you could actually put both of them together if you wanted to.
So 70% right there.
Just in grants, let alone the other.
And then what would you have in tax credits?
You would still get the normal 64%. So 30% in your federal ITC, 10% in your domestic, and then 23.9% on your depreciation.
Oh, my God. So can you possibly still get an entire commercial system paid for? Does Colorado have any grants?
They do have grants, but they're mostly tied to like nonprofits, so folks that wouldn't benefit from the tax credits. But they do have battery incentives.
What does that mean? Oh, to add on to the system.
Just batteries. Yeah, they don't, the solar part of it, they just make sure the utility company has to give you retail value for it.
Yeah.
But they do give you credit back if you get a battery.
So how much right now, if it's a commercial system, can someone expect to get paid for all in?
If they're doing a grant, they can get anywhere from 108% to 150% of it covered.
150%.
Yeah, so if the project costs $100,000, you're talking about getting paid 108 to 150, just depending on what the solar system is benefiting.
We've got to dig into that because people, when we talk about that in the spots for you, they think it's unbelievable. The fact, seriously, the fact you could own a quadplex or even a duplex or any commercial property and literally get money in your pocket to put a solar system up. If you get 150%, am I not crazy, you would actually get money into your pocket or at least tax credits.
Yeah, not only that, but let's say you've got tenants. Now you can charge the tenants what Excel has been doing, so it's a really good revenue source.
All of a sudden you're your own little electric company.
Yeah.
It's just hard to believe. Hey, Randy, what's going on?
Bitch.
What? Whoa.
Is this Tom?
No, this is Mark, Randy. What's going on, man?
Okay, man. My mother and 30 other families before my mother's case came to bar on a probate
Am I
case
crazy?
in
Did I hear
County with
bitch
Judge
right off the
Timothy
bat?
L. Faze. He's famous for this. He's got priors. He did 30 other families before that. Anyway, he stole all my inheritance. I'm the sole heir of my mother and father's will, and I was owed $247,000 from my dad's book.
Hey, Randy, where did this happen?
Oh, when did this happen? 2011. But now the transcripts are missing from both cases.
But it's 2011. I mean, what are you expecting? How are you expecting us to help you from something in 2011? I just want to set expectations here.
Well, he kept doing that until he retired in 2015, Judge Pazing in Arapahoe County.
So you're saying the judge was in cahoots with who?
With the court-appointed lawyer, probate lawyer named Marco Chiette.
So between the judge and Marco, they took your mom's inheritance and just basically stole it? Is that your accusation?
That is, and the judge Phasing wouldn't even let my mom have an attorney at her own probate hearing, and I told him you're violating her rights under 6th, 8th, and 14th.
All right, hold on a second, Randy. I got to take this break. I'll bring you up after this, but honestly, man, that was a lot to swallow. We got to dive into that right after this. Jesus.
2011.
Talk about starting off with just a wacko. Where's Keanu? Oh, it's just a 30, not a 120? Zero Res Denver. You know what I love about these guys? Well, I'll tell you exactly what I love. You want your carpets cleaned? You want them looking absolutely beautiful? You got to call these guys. In fact, they got a deal going on right now. Listen to this. Listen to this deal going on. $109. You get 2 areas cleaned and you get 2 areas free. Think about that. You get 4 areas or 4 rooms cleaned in your house for $109. These guys use empowered water. They use the best method to clean carpet. In my opinion, it's by far the best. It's hot water extraction, and they use the right equipment. It gets that water out, all that dirt. They don't use soap, emulsifiers, anything like that. The bottom line is when it's done, it's going to look gorgeous. It's going to dry quick. And then on top of that, the other great thing about it is 3-4 days later, those wicking's not going to happen where those old spots come back up because they do such a great job cleaning that carpet. They get down into the pad. That empowered water breaks down the dirt and the equipment sucks it up. It's gone. You're going to love these guys. Check them out at ZeroResDenver.com. That's ZeroResDenver.com. Let's talk about a contractor that actually puts the word discount, that's right, discount in their name. Discount Baths. These guys are great. In fact, Suzanne and I had them out at our house probably about 3-4 months ago. They come out, they look at everything you got going on in your bathroom. Maybe you've got a tub and a shower and you want more closet space. These guys can actually take that bathtub space and maybe extend the closet, add a closet, move the shower to there. They can add a steamer if you want that in the shower. They can also do something really basic like taking that old bathtub and turning that into a walk-in low-threshold shower. These guys do tub-to-shower conversions all the time or complete bathroom remodels, and they do it at a discount price. Yes, quality remodels at a discount price. DiscountBath.com. That's DiscountBath.com. bath.com. Let's talk about Become the Banker, Joe and Jordan. They have an annuity right now that they specialize in. You get a 15% bonus on it. Unlike a lot of other annuities, that 15% starts making you money day one. If you let that money sit there for 10, 12 years, and then you decide to retire, you're going to have a paycheck for life. For the rest of your life, every month, you're going to get a paycheck from that annuity company. It's safe, it's sound, and more importantly, it's guaranteed. Check out mymoneymyway.com. That's mymoneymyway.com.
Did you get the Wi-Fi okay, Brooke? Did you get the Wi-Fi? Okay. Yeah, thank you so much.
Lord. Boy, I can't believe they did that on that damn Tabor. I just when I think everything's like, can't get worse. That's so sneaky.
You know, it's supposed to
Did
happen.
they just make that this year?
Yeah. So if you don't check it, you don't participate. Now, who in their right mind wouldn't want to participate?
Right.
All they're doing is banking on dumb people that are doing their own taxes, not checking the box. And those are the people that need that refund more than anybody else.
Don't they have an income level on that, though?
For Tabor?
Yeah.
No, Tabor, if you make up to $53,000, I'll talk single filer, not joint. It looks like it's just doubled. So 177, 53 to 105, 240, all the way up to over 300,000, you get 565. And then if you file jointly, double all those. So it goes up to about $1,130. So everybody gets something. If you didn't pay in zero, you still get a check for $177. Kelly, this guy sounds crazy as, I don't even know. I mean, I can't think of something. A fucking nut. Let's just say it like that.
I'm not.
Did you hear the second I went to him, the first word out of his mouth was bitch?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I actually spoke with him.
Oh, nice.
So I know what you're talking about. By the way, your 120 is only at 11:15 with Become the Banker.
Yeah, okay. I thought it said 120 at first. I just read it wrong.
I blame Shannon.
Yeah. Why not? Hey, how come, Shannon, you didn't go to that party that they raided the other day, the 50
I want to know
Venezuelan?
who's catering something like that. That can't be Taco Bell.
Pizza Hut.
Who's buying the tamales and getting the red Solo cups for that gig?
It's kind of funny. It wasn't long ago where there was no gang members here.
I think they're displacing some, quality gangs that used to be here.
Yeah.
Immigrants taking our jobs again.
Denver's talk station. Online at khow.com.
All right, 303-713-8255. We have some lines open. You've been ripped off or taken advantage of. Maybe a bad contractor, a bad landlord. Honestly, pretty much anything. The diversity of our phone calls is quite amazing over the years. We had one person we helped actually get a liver, if that doesn't sound crazy. Hey, Dimitri, what's the craziest case you've worked on? And I'm going to be asking you guys, too, the craziest one. And then what do you like working on? I mean, like, I know Deputy Bo, who's listening, he likes plumbing stuff because that's what he did forever. He had a plumbing company. So
Yeah.
HVAC, etc.
Yeah, I think this isn't very crazy, but I think my favorite case so far is helping Bo with the Justin Garcia case.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, so Justin finally got served with a lawsuit. And so this is now in El Paso District Court, but Hollington Law Firm is representing the consumer, Carol.
Do they have money to actually go after? Hopefully.
Well, I hope there's something, but
Hopefully.
I don't know. I mean, typically when people steal money or allegedly steal money, it's not so they can buy stocks,
Got
it's
it.
because they need it for something else.
Of course. So Randy,
next night.
Randy.
That's not going to happen. Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yeah, you got to, so focus a little bit here, man. So in 2015, what exactly happened? Is that when the court date was, or was that in 2011?
No. Court case is 2011, and I got the day it was filed by my sister, and I got the court number, the case number.
Okay, so, but so in 2011, though, who opened probate? Your sister?
Yeah, she tried to be my mom's guardian conservator to save the money because my mom liked going to bingo, and she also liked going to the 25-cent slot machines up in Blackhawk at Fitzgerald's Casino. And my sister was on the wheel at the time, my little brother, my two sisters, and me. And then my sister had gone to my dad's nursing home, take it right here, and he had dementia, and she took one of his 3 checkbooks out the deal out of his drawer at the nursing home at Fitzsimmons.
Your mother or your sister? Who took it?
My sister took one of the 3 checkbooks.
And what did she do?
She go straight. Yeah, she turned around and wrote. Had my dad sign a blank piece of paper.
Okay, but Randy, hold on. Randy, yeah. I don't need to go like through the entire 4-course dinner.
Oh, okay.
Good enough. Here's what I'm trying to ask. Did your sister steal from your parents? Randy.
$247,000 she stole.
Okay, so Randy, hold on. So your sister stole from your parents?
Well, the court did too.
Well, hold on. But how much did so your sister was in cahoots with the court and the attorney?
Exactly.
So, and what did she do? What did she convince the judge to do? Did the will say you've got some money? Because I assume this entire phone call is you didn't get your share.
Yeah, I'm the sole heir after my sister got investigated. When she filed the guardian and conservator petition to be my mom and dad's guardian and conservator, so my mom wouldn't blow the money, and she knew I did encourage my mom to blow the money, gambling, so she earned it.
Doug, I swear to God, you're going in and out like you're taking the phone and moving it 4 feet away from you.
Randy.
I'm sorry, I just got out of a car from a medical visit, medical transfer.
Just keep the phone. Just keep the phone in the right place. So they go to court in 2011. Your sister opens probate. She hires an attorney. Yes or no?
No. Yeah, she hired her own attorney. Yeah, Norman Campbell out of Brighton.
Okay, so she hires him, and then they go to court, and what does the judge ultimately say? She gets all the money or what?
No, the judge ultimately said you took your dad's checkbook, handed over to your mom's lawyer right now.
Okay.
And you owe $247,000 to the sole heir of the will, which is me.
So you were the only one in the will?
Yep. So after my mom found out my sister stole that money, my mom cut out my little brother and both sisters.
But all the money was gone at this point. Is that correct?
No, all the money was still the guardian conservator that they appointed in Arapahoe County on my mom's case named Jeanette Goodwin.
Then why didn't you get the money at that point?
Nobody would give me any money.
But you just said you were the only one in the will and the money was still there being held in trust. How come you didn't get the money?
Because the guardian conservator and the judge and Marco Chayette and the psychologist who passed my mom twice and then flunked her a third time, the judge told him that if he doesn't flunk my mom, he'll never get another court appointment. But the guardian conservator, Jeanette Goodwin, along with the judge and the other characters, Marco Chayette and them, they had control over the money. The guardian conservator did.
Okay, so you didn't. Okay, so when did your mom pass away?
2014.
And then what happened to the money at that point? Did they burn through it? What happened?
Yeah, they sold the $400,000 condo for $53,000, and they gave me $42,000 of it. Period. No $1.2 million that was saved in that $400,000 condo that they sold for $52,000. They gave me $43,000. That's what it was total. And I had to sign the paper saying that that I'm paid in full, but I put my name on there. Before I put my name on the line, I said I'm signing this document under duress, signed my name, and then I wrote I'm owed $1.2 million.
Yeah, none of that's going to matter. But here's where we're at now. I mean, let's say everything you're saying is correct. And at this point, everybody in the entire system is against you, right? I mean, literally, the judge, everybody. There's no one not against you at this point, right?
Right. I got one ally.
So let's just say all of that's correct.
State senator.
And the state senator is involved.
No, she's on my side.
Okay.
She's my ally.
Okay, and what does the state senator say about all this? And I know I'm going to wish I never asked you this, but how did a state senator become involved?
Because enough complaints were made, and she ended up getting back out of them 30-some families before they took my mother's money at a hearing with when the judge pays.
And what did she do? What did the senator do for you? Did she look into the case? Did she hire an attorney, a special prosecutor? What did she do? Or he do?
Well, she took all my information and she started trying to get money back from the 30-some families that came up before my mom's case and get the money back from me. And to date, she only got the money back for one family, and they got ripped off for millions of dollars.
And how did they get? And where did that money come from? Where did they get that money for that one person?
Well, they lived in Aspen, the people. So when you live in Aspen, you have money.
So when you live in Aspen, you have money. But I guess I'm saying, where did they get it? Was it in trust somewhere?
Yeah, it was with Jeanette Goodwin, the same cast of characters.
Is there anything I could Google to get more information on these 30 people that apparently were all involved in the same thing you were?
Hey, let's call the state senator.
What would I Google to see that?
Laura Woods.
Okay, hold on. I got an idea. I want to get Dan McKenzie on and see if he knows anything about this judge, this senator, this conservator, and
the statute of limitations.
Well, of course, that's where this is all going to come down to. It's 10 years later. But for the life of me, I don't know if this is absolutely crazy or if there's something there. I mean, honest to God, yeah. I mean, everybody in the world. But then when he said there was 29 or 30 other people involved, that perked up my ears a little bit, especially if we can find something on it. Hold on. So Dan McKenzie, if we can, he's going to love me for this one. You know, John Class at CMG Mortgage, we've been talking about these guys forever. I love John. Not only do they have that all-in-one loan we talk about, that's where you can actually offset your payment each month by however much is in the checking account. You also have a 30-year line of credit. It's incredible. That can't be taken away. They also do reverse mortgage, 15, 20, 30-year fixed. These guys do it all. There are experts right here on the Troubleshooter Show. Give John a call for any loan if you need to get some money out of your house. 303-577-7206. 303-577-7206. Or check out John with CMG Mortgage on referralist.com. You got to be crazy on this guy.
I don't even understand the problem.
Right. He got ripped off by everybody. I really thought the state senator was in cahoots, too. I was sure it was going to go there. And then Trump was in there involved somewhere, too.
No, Obama. This would have been during Obama years.
Everyone has written the state. Trying to put notes in for Tommy. Has written the state.
I don't even know what you put for Randy. Ripped off by judge,
Whack-a-lack.
attorney, sister,
Quack-a-dack caller.
and the conservatorship.
What we're dealing with here.
I actually stole his catalytic converter yesterday, too. You can add that to the list.
And Brooke stole his car.
I think I gave him a ticket when I was on the job.
I don't think I've met you yet. I'm Brooke.
I'm Dale. No, we've talked
We've talked?
several times.
Just on the phone or in person?
On the phone.
That's why.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
we have.
We got his chopper on the show.
Ah, yeah. Okay,
Yes.
there we go.
You were taller though when we on the phone.
I'm taller.
On the phone. Yeah.
On the phone.
Yep.
I'm glad that one worked out. Is that person still being kind of hard?
Oh, he blew us up all day yesterday. And I go,
Even though it passed and everything's done?
so they finally got all the electrical done.
Yeah.
So we can't run a solar inspection until electrical's passed on a new build.
Sure.
So they were 3 months out from getting that covered. And then as soon as we could, we ran it. No corrections needed, nothing. And he's just continuing to blow me up. And I don't know what to say. Like,
I don't know what you'd say either at that point.
I'm not going to go out and just
Because it
Get
was
somebody's
something,
ass,
wasn't there
you know
something
what I
with a
mean?
beam of some sort? He didn't know if the beam could be repaired or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And that was, so the structural engineer came in, said, do it this way. You guys did it this way.
Yeah.
And he's still not happy with that fix?
No, he's just in general.
I got it. Nothing's going to make him happy.
Yeah.
I got it.
So people can actually make money by installing solar systems?
Oh, God, yeah.
Like a year later, you actually end up with more cash than you started with?
I want to make this very clear. Not if you're selling power to the utility company directly. Like, you have to charge your tenants. But, yeah, you can charge your tenants.
Oh, but with this 160%.
Oh, yeah, you can make money off of grants and stuff. Mm-hmm.
But
So,
that implies if I spent, say, $100,000 on a solar and battery system, I would actually collect checks in the amount of $160,000?
it depends on your tax liability, but definitely.
We'll talk about it. It's pretty amazing.
As long as you have the tax liability for it, yeah, absolutely you will.
People never believe it, man.
It's
There's
really
so
hard
many
to
people that
believe.
tell me yeah.
I know you're not lying, and I know you're not exaggerating. Believe me, I just can't even begin to understand how that's possible. In my
Government.
world, things are simple.
Mm-hmm.
The year starts with 10,000 in the checking account, and now the year will end with 16,000 in the checking account.
Yeah.
Same reason Obama would give you $10,000 during cash for clunkers for a tire, basically. Anything that resembled
But you
a
had
car.
to buy a car, which
Yeah.
would cost you more than you got.
No, you could buy back then a Ford Focus was $9,000. You would get a free car from the Obama administration.
Oh, should I miss that?
Well, now granted, you'd have to buy a Ford Focus.
Yeah, but
You could buy anything you wanted and apply the credit. My point was, there was cars that were actually less than 10 grand.
Can I put a pop machine in front of my man cave and say that's a commercial business?
I guess you open a business. And,
Yeah, I mean, sell snacks.
well, the whole property has to be commercial.
Oh, the whole
entire thing, just my home office doesn't count.
Your home office
That's my
does.
business's primary.
It would be a percentage then, right?
You
okay.
you can do it. It depends on the percentage of the house and how that works. But what's easier is if you have a detached garage, call the detached
Shannon, I
garage.
see you're not kidding, but it's actually on
Yeah.
the log back to
That's
back.
what I have.
Oh and then you just have to open up an LLC, and then as long as the contract's in a business, now the business has to make money to access these tax credits, or you have
And they have back-to-back red.
there's like a process. But yeah, definitely. Mhm. Yeah, it's.
I got it.
The first time I heard about this, my father-in-law told me in Iowa, and I was like, "It's a scam. Don't do anything." But I was in the exact same boat.
All right, 303-713-8255. I just got to put this all together to talk to Dan McKenzie. He's on a referral list at referrallist.com. When it comes to wills, probate, anything like that, I mean, he's our go-to guy. Hey, Dan, how are you doing, man?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Listen, I don't want to get into the weeds on this because I think you're going to be able to answer the real question. But basically, in 2011, according to the caller, Randy, Everybody was going after his mom's money. And in 2011, someone, I think his sister, basically became her conservator and was over her health, money, other things. And bottom line, in 2011, the money was put somewhere. And in 2014 or 15, the mother died. And the person on the phone, Randy, is saying between the corrupt attorney, the corrupt sister, the corrupt judge, and other people, I mean, everybody was corrupt. He ended up only getting $40,000 instead of like over $1 million. So just to put it like that, and if he wants to correct me on any of that, I don't think it's going to matter, because that was 2014 and 15. Is there anything anybody can do, including Randy, to go back 10 years to do anything about it? If everything was correct, the judge, everybody was against him, and everybody was in cahoots to get the money but him. Is there anything you can do 10 years later?
I mean, we probably can look at the file and see there should be reports from the conservatorship. I mean, the fact that there was a conservatorship, usually part of that is the reporting at least once a year on what's been spent and received. So there should be, those reports should still be somewhere. But yeah, the fact that there was a conservatorship probably makes it a little bit more challenging, because there are all these notification requirements and people get told what's going on and all that kind of stuff. So if Randy can prove, like, hey, I was supposed to be on the list of people that was notified about what was happening and I was not on that list, you know, maybe there is some avenue to get in there, but that'd be something to discover that.
Hey, Dan, there was another thing he brought up. He said that he found, doing research, he got in touch. I'm going to bring him up here. Hey, who was the senator, Randy? What senator did you reach out to?
The senator's name is Senator Laura Woods. She's a Republican.
Okay, hold on. That's all I needed. So apparently, Dan, Senator Laura Woods at the time looked into it, and she uncovered that this same judge who was involved in all of these other 30 plus people getting ripped off.
The same judge, Timothy L. Phasing. In fact, he's in an article in the Denver Post of July 31st, 2015, and he's on the front page and then the third page. And it tells about him and a probate lawyer named Tamara Palmer that both were under investigation for ripping off families. I got the article right here.
Well, hold on. But the article still goes 10 years. Out of curiosity, where did that investigation go? Was there ever an arrest? Was there ever restitution? Did anything become of it?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, hold on.
Slid by like a fat hog. They slid by and got away with it so far.
So, Dan, have you heard of any of those people?
I have not.
Okay.
Jeanette Goodwin first.
See, the problem here is,
Randy. Conservator.
Okay, Randy, hold on. Dan, I'm just going to ask you this straight up. If he called you off air, besides probably never talking to me again, what would you tell him to do?
If he called who?
If he called you off air and said, hey, what can you do to help? And he engaged with you. I mean, what would you do first? I mean, honestly, or is it not even worth the call? I'm trying to figure out a route for this guy, because it has been 10 years. But if some of this stuff is true, and he only ended up, Randy, how much do you think you should have gotten total?
$1.2 million plus a $400,000 condo in Arapahoe County with Judge Phasing and the judge in Adams County on my dad's case.
Randy, I just wanted to ask that. So $1.6 million, right?
No, $1.2 million and a $400,000 condo on my mom.
Okay, I'm okay. I get it. So, Dan, if he called you up, would you engage with him?
We would, we could, like I said, we could go back to the court system and just see what's available as far as that file goes. It seems like it should be available. But, you know, that things will be sealed because it is a conservatorship, so they don't just let everyone look at that and without any restrictions. So that's an issue that we'd have to get over, but I'm pretty confident we could. You know, the bigger issue is something you probably talk a lot about, which is winning a lawsuit is half the battle.
Yeah,
I mean,
collecting.
Okay, let's say we pursue this thing and then, you know, you win everything, Randy, and get exactly what you want as far as the court order goes.
And let me point this out.
Randy, listen, Randy, here's how he was going to finish that. Just let us talk. He was going to finish like, even if you get the judgment, where do you think the money is?
God only knows.
So I guess what I'm saying is, do you want to spend, and I'm going to exaggerate here, if you had it, would you spend $100,000 to get $1 million judgment, but the other parties don't have the $1 million, so you end up getting nothing?
Well, Judge Basin's got the money, and there's no statute of limitation in forgery in the Colorado statutory law.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to suggest, Randy. Honest to God, you know what? Something's there. Listen, I might think you're a little off base. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Generally speaking, when everybody and their mother is involved, there is some issues there. But honestly, if there's newspaper articles and everything you're talking about, and this judge was part of it, there might be some money to go after. So I'm going to suggest you call Dan. Dan, when you talk about a conservatorship and unsealing it, I mean, basically you go and petition the court, and that's like literally a case right there in order to get it open, correct?
It could be, yeah. Or maybe there's some way for me to appear as an attorney in that case and
okay.
get access to those documents. But I'd have to look into that a little bit.
Yeah, so the bottom line is, Randy, I want you to call Dan. Honest to goodness, I want you to call Dan and talk to him, and then, you know, follow up with us. Dan McKenzie, 833 CO Plans. Dan, as always, I appreciate you coming on. And anybody out there, honestly, if you just need a simple will or, you know, a complicated trust or a simple trust, or you don't know, probably more importantly, you don't know exactly what you need. Maybe you just had kids. Maybe you just got remarried. Now you have a blended family. I mean, there's so many different reasons to call Dan. Some of his stuff is actually flat rate pricing, which I love. He'll sit with you. He'll talk to you. He'll tell you what you need, and he'll tell you how much. That's Dan McKenzie. He's our expert right here. 833-CO Plans. 833-CO Plans or coplans.co. Randy, please get in touch with Dan and then follow up with us on the air. Anna and Doug, you guys are up next right here on the Troubleshooter Show. Holy cazoles.
Dan will never be on the show again.
Right.
That's the last call.
There might be something there, but I don't think there's any money there.
Do I need to address with Chris on this spot placement? Is there an issue? Your spot's coming up. Do I need to address that?
I don't know why it's like that, but I'm going to fill these anyhow.
Okay. I checked off Dan McKenzie for you on house spots.
So you're going to check off because I'm going to do, what is it, Tuesday? Yeah, McKenzie, very good. And then I'm going to do Wave 8 right now.
You're going to do Wave 8?
So, Shannon, fire these off like normal. Wave 8, do you guys know what Wave 8 is? I'm going to tell you straight up. That's Tom Martino's investment company, and it's more or less a strategy. Let me tell you why. Tom got so sick and tired, and I mean it, so sick and tired of paying the middleman. A lot of people that you use to go out there, I don't care if they're suggesting annuities or certain funds or anything out there, they're just the middleman. And he was sick and tired of paying them middleman. You know what? Tom makes a lot of money. If you've been listening to him right here in Colorado for 45 years, you understand that. And he decided to start his own company. He decided it. I think he told me about it. My goodness. I mean, we're going back 4 years plus. It took forever to get it up. There's a lot of regulations, but Wave 8 is up and running. They're managing a ton of money. They're making people a lot of money. And if you want to invest with Martino, you simply go to investwithmartino.com. Ask all the questions. It's for anybody out there. Call up, ask if you've been thinking you're sick and tired of paying all these fees each year and you're not making a lot of money from whoever you're using. I want you to check out Wave 8 Wealth Management. Investwithmartino.com or 303-771-HELP. 303-771-HELP.
Hey, Mark, did you want me to use my personal or major radio for the Santa Fe payoff?
Major radio. Hey, you can get rid of line 1 there.
On jumper cables.
Yeah.
Like temporary service. So we came in and fixed it and then the financing company, which is Goodleaf, even though they know it's not, they have so many lawsuits against them right now that it's just one more thing. And then One Solar's also got so many.
One Solar was.
So we just put together our expert, like our thing, and then we connected them with a lawyer, and they're going through the whole process. But what's crazy is that, if you don't get a system that's like permission to operate or that is going within 6 months of funding the loan, then the financing company gets to take that money back. So they did that from One Solar. So then One Solar called these people and tried to get them to set up a new financing, saying that their current loan with Goodleaf had been canceled. So they would have had to pay 2 payments. So the lawyer's like, there's a lot going on, but it's definitely like a bad faith situation because they outright lied to them.
They sounded like nice people, and I felt sorry for them.
You mean One Solar?
No.
Oh, the caller.
The caller. Yeah.
I guess, I don't know, the folks that are involved, they're not citizens. They've been here on an asylum for like 20 years, and they've been like put all the paperwork through, but the State Department's never gone through it. So that's what makes it extra interesting is...
What'll happen, Joe?
Yeah.
They're okay unless they've committed felonies or something for a while.
Well, they just don't want to rock the boat. That's why it's taking
they don't
so
want
long
to put the spotlight on them.
Exactly.
Kind of like you might be gone too, you know.
Yeah, could be.
And where would you head if you got kicked out of here? Where would you go? What country?
Oh.
So you got kicked out of the U.S.?
I'd be back to
Costa Rica, maybe.
Costa Rica. I hear Costa Rica's awesome.
It is. It is awesome.
Yeah.
Been about 25 times. I don't know why.
That's right. You go down there, right?
I don't know why I didn't think.
I'm not hearing Kelly. What's up, Kelly?
Hey,
Portugal.
are we done with Randy?
Yes.
We're done with Randy. Randy might be done with us.
Yeah, if I could live anywhere.
Give him Mackenzie's number again. 833-CO plans.
Good food, good drinks, good people. Come on, Spain. Do you have a place in Costa Rica?
No. I just have a couple of guys that I go with. Marriott hotels mainly.
Oh, okay.
Timeshare stuff.
They have it, yeah.
But you're going down there to work.
I work with them, yeah.
Yeah, to teach pilots.
And that.
You work in Costa Rica?
Huh? Yeah.
Oh.
You're a pilot?
Oh, flight instructor.
Chopper.
Awesome.
Don't get him started because he has a saying if you're a pilot, you'll tell everyone in 20 minutes or something.
He usually does. He's behaving.
I've talked to him on the phone several times. This is the first, now I'm connected.
Well, that's because we put an end to it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Before that, if you just met him like in a restaurant, bumped into him, he'd be like, "Oh, beautiful day for flying today."
Yeah.
It's on his shirt when you see him.
I would have had
I'd like a Coke and some fries. And by the way, I have an airplane.
Yeah.
Here's the hangar number. Yeah.
I should have thought of
Go ahead and say that to Dan, and he'll help you out. Okay.
I
can put solar on anything.
I think most hangars are probably personally owned, though.
Can you hear us in there, by the way?
You know what? I don't know, but
I don't know.
I can.
Everyone I know.
Everybody but the deputies.
Lease them, right?
Well, like Centennial's a 99-year lease, but
Never mind, we'll tell you
pretty
later.
much like
Here we come.
Okay. Here we go.
I missed what?
Nothing. It's okay.
What was it?
Nothing. He's like, I'll tell you later. Mark's not listening. So
I can't hear him.
No matter now.
All right, 303-713-8255. We got some lines open. 303 Martino. You've been ripped off or just need some advice. Hey, Doug, what's going on with you?
All right, this is kind of a follow-up call from yesterday.
Sure.
I was asked if I had sent, for a small claims court, I asked if I had sent out a letter to let the renters know they would not get their deposit back. And I originally said no, but then I told this to my wife, and she said, no, you sent one of those out.
Yeah, you pretty much have to if you don't either refund the deposit, and this goes down to the actual lease. It's either 60 days or I think it can be extended to 90 days in a written lease. It might be 30 and 60. But if you don't send it back, they can actually go for treble damages of not receiving it.
So I did send that out. I found the copy of the paperwork on the computer and reprinted it out. So I know I did send that paper out. And I actually sent it certified mail to make sure they did get it.
Hey, Doug, you got to catch me up a little bit, though. I think I missed this call. I was on all day yesterday, but I don't recall this. So you kicked them out, or you gave them. Actually, I think I do remember this. You actually put up a 10 or 30-day notice, right?
I did give them a 30-day notice. They kept being late paying rent.
Sure.
Up to 3 weeks late, and I said, this is enough of that. And I kept getting complaints from HOA on them as well for noise and garbage and so forth. I've got to be done with this.
Yeah.
After so much damage was done, I said, it's going to take me a year to recover from the damages. So
hey, give me an idea of the damages in your unit. Was it a house? Was it a duplex? Was it a condo? What is it?
It's a townhome. So it had upstairs and downstairs, a little over 1,000 square foot. But both the husband and wife had anger issues because they had broke every single door in the house, including the storm door.
You mean like kicking them down?
Pretty much. There was holes in the door where a fist would go, and there's holes in the door where a foot would go. And that doesn't matter if it was the bathroom door, the closet door.
How many doors did they ruin? Like every door, pretty much.
Literally every single door in the house.
What else?
Except for the sinks.
How do you ruin a sink?
They bust. Well, not only did they chip up the sink,
like a ceramic sink.
Yeah, they busted off the sink handles off at least one of them.
Do you think they did that on purpose? Is this like after you gave them the 30-day?
I gave them 30 days, and some of this damage I think they probably had done somewhere along the line.
Yeah, what jerks.
I'm stupid. I'll take the blame. I didn't check up on them on a regular basis.
How long were they in there?
They were actually there for 4 years.
Did they screw you during COVID? Did you get paid?
They paid me, and that's why they paid me late, but they always paid me, so I put up with it.
Yeah.
But after so much time after COVID was over, they still wouldn't pay me on time, and they kept making it later and later and later. So
it's got to be so hard to be a landlord in this state now. So
I got out for partly that reason.
So they pack up, they leave after you put up the notice to vacate the property, and you go in there, you see all the damage. What's the dollar amount of the damage, roughly?
Roughly.
Yeah, don't go crazy. What is it?
I can't claim all of it because of the we call it is. I can't claim carpet. I mean, the carpet was just destroyed.
Yeah.
It smelled so bad I had to personally take the carpet out before new carpet installers would come in.
They wouldn't even pull it out?
It stunk too bad.
That's unbelievable. Can you imagine a carpet guy coming in, Suzanne, and saying, "Oh, this stinks so bad, you're going to have to pull it out"? That's nasty. What did it stink from? Did they have pets?
They apparently did not have pets, so I'm not sure if they had.
It stunk from them. Hold on, man. Hold on. I want to get into the small claims aspect of it after this. 303 Martino. 2 lines open. 303 Martino.
Well, while you're gone, think about Chad.
They didn't have pets.
Right.
That's even worse. Like, they didn't have worse in it, or they didn't have pets and they stunk that bad. It's like...
How?
That's concerning.
This is definitely concerning.
Yeah. Like, how do you do anything? Like, hold a job or, you know what I mean? Yeah.
They paid for 4 years, though.
Oh, he might rival you.
Mayor vows not to cooperate. What city is this? It's got to be California. Pittsburgh, huh?
What's going on in Pittsburgh?
He will not cooperate with ICE raids. I don't think they have to cooperate. I think ICE just basically goes in and does what they want.
I don't entirely hate the mayor. Mark, are you get your ears on?
I'm sorry, Shannon,
That's
please.
okay. Don't entirely hate Johnston. He's been good to me.
Oh, how was he good to you?
Over on KOA, we do a lot of stuff, and we had a great interaction out in the street one day. He was kind of fun, but
I find this very hard to believe, but okay.
No. He hugged me and he said, "I think I talked to you more than I talked to my parents." It was a weird little deal.
Our mayor.
Yeah, Mike Johnston.
All right. Well,
we talk a lot.
That's very nice.
At least every week.
That's very nice.
But
we'll get him on right now. I'd like to talk to him.
Not at all. But
he doesn't trust you.
If Michelob Ultra made a version of the California governor, it would be Mike.
You sounded good 2 days ago.
Say that again?
You need to talk more.
Oh, gosh.
You sounded great 2 days ago.
I'm going to get her to open up an hour, maybe today. In fact, I'll put up a poll. I haven't logged into YouTube yet.
Thanks, Chop. You're getting him going. It's nerve-wracking to think about what to talk about. Mark can go on and on saying nothing. You know? Tom can go on and on saying nothing.
Hey! How about that fucking
the ego
nutcase
isn't big enough here in this little mind.
Okay, here comes a poll, folks. Switch account. Who do we have tomorrow, by the way?
Become the banker. What's Become the Banker? Your investment company, annuities. Yep. They've been with us a long time. What's a fun name? I like that. Become the Banker.
Their website's cool, too. MyMoneyMyWay.com or BecomeTheBanker.com.
So I got an interesting, I don't know. There's a roofing company called Red Rock Roofing.
That sucks.
Yeah, they're just saying that we have to change our name.
They're saying that? Mm-hmm. What are you, though? Red Rocks?
Roof and Solar.
I don't know how they could do that.
I don't know. Did you get a legal letter about it? They are saying by the 14th or 15th of February, if I don't do it, that the...
You should write them a letter saying they need to change theirs by the 14th or the 13th.
Red Rock.
Have you consulted an attorney?
Yeah, I talked to him. He said, it's a landmark. They really can't do anything.
I have no idea how they would. It's Red Rocks.
Yeah.
It's not McDonald's. Right. Although, coming to America, remember McDougal's? The guy he opened up what looked exactly like a McDonald's with the big M, but it was McDougal's.
Oh, shit. Was that in a movie?
Yeah, Eddie Murphy, Coming to America.
Coming to America, that's right.
McDougal's. And McDonald's was always threatening to sue him. Okay, let's see here. Okay, here comes the poll. Should Suze open up the third hour today?
We'll just open it. That ain't a big deal, is it?
Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go on a run.
Oh.
A little jog. You're gonna go do a yoga class.
So the yoga teacher I had this morning, she repeats everything. She's the only one that does it. It doesn't matter what she says. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, let's go to downward dog. Downward dog. I hope everybody had a good weekend.
She is the sweetest woman, though, isn't she? She's so nice.
She's very nice. It's just so I wonder if anywhere else outside of yoga.
That's what I can do opening the show. Since I don't have a lot to say, I'll just say it twice. I'll just say it twice.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Then you can tell funny stories about Mark. That would be the most entertaining 3 hours and 57 minutes of the week.
Oh, dear.
So you have more to say than all of us.
That's all classified, Dimitri. That's classified. I don't know if I'm willing to classify Mark.
Meth carpet. Someone put meth carpet.
Oh, God, I bet you it was meth covered.
God, I'd hope not, man. You might as well just move unless you get really good insurance. Look at that. Daily encounters, 94.7% down. That's insane. Kamala said she had that thing all closed up, sealed tight.
Let me tell you that the Trump haters on my Facebook feed.
Are they getting nasty?
Oh,
did
the
you
more
guys
he
see
does, the
Selena
worse
Gomez?
they spout. I'm not.
Murderers, drug addict, rapist.
Because I don't know anything about what's going on, so this is when I recap like world news for a month.
Okay, so
you're smart.
Listen to this. We have a lady that lives in our neighborhood.
President, Brooke. Just last week.
We have a lady in our neighborhood we met one time when someone else had her over for a pizza party.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a TV. They don't listen to radio.
Yeah.
They literally have no idea about anything ever.
What's going on in
They, crazy
Dimitri doesn't have a TV, but you get your
you
news.
read news.
Oh, all day long from my trusted news sources on the computer.
Yahoo.
No.
I love Yahoo News.
PBS.
MSNBC.
NPR. Did you see how much the NPR radio hosts are getting paid? There's a list. I just got a list of like 10 of them. They're over $500,000 a year.
Oh.
No wonder you guys work so hard here.
Maybe I'll have to call up NPR.
Become like the next.
I could do the liberal stuff. I could do it pretty
You
good.
could get on that liberal train.
Listen, the border's shut down. I don't know what you're talking about. Those are pizza delivery people. Those are Ubers. Okay, who's saying no?
I did. I said no. Somebody must have voted with me.
Yes, it must have.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome, my friends, to the only show that's got we're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, make your life a little bit better, educate you, teach you how to save money, and really help you with any problem you have. We have a list of experts, attorneys, contractors, and just great people, including dentists for that matter, at referrallist.com. One of our referrallist.com members is in today with us, Brooke White, and we're going to talk about solar, how to get a free system, how to get a solar system that you can actually not only get paid for, but start making money on from day one. And I know everybody's like, there's no way, that's impossible. I'm telling you, it's absolutely true, and we're going to dig into that. Please join us on YouTube, by the way. You can go to youtube.com, type in Troubleshooter Network. You'll see us. We're live. You can actually watch past shows. You get to hear us during the breaks talk about other things, sometimes stuff we can't talk about on these wonderful airwaves. Suzanne?
Oh, if you like a potty mouth, you got to go to our potty mouth Mark. You got to go to our YouTube to hear that.
You know, I put a poll up one time, and I actually said on YouTube, someone wrote a hate mail to me. I get those occasionally. And you know what I found out about hate mail? They're the ones that hang on to every word you say. I mean, literally, this guy was like, I can't believe you said that word during the break. I know it's YouTube, but you shouldn't be able to cuss anywhere. Blah, 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 wah, 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 wah. So that's what this guy's saying. So I go on YouTube, and I know he's listening because he's talking about on YouTube. And I put up a poll. I said, should Tom and I stop cussing altogether on YouTube? 97% was no. I mean, it's amazing. People like that. Listen, I don't care who you are. People are real. There's certain things we can't say over these airwaves, but my goodness, I mean, you can see that kind of backside if you go to youtube.com. Oh, shush it.
Backside, okay.
Hey, I'm going to have Suzanne open the show up. Probably next hour, the third hour. So that's going to be kind of cool. We're going to start making her get more involved in the Troubleshooter Show. She does a ton behind the scenes, don't get me wrong. In fact, people don't know this. Honestly, you put all the guests together. Forget about the business part of it. You run the businesses. But for the show itself, you actually put all the guests together.
That's correct.
Yeah, you basically direct Kelly for the most part. I mean, she does everything herself, but
I cover Kelly now and then too.
Yeah,
so that's fun.
Yep.
I had that job for years, Mark. A lot of people don't know that. For 10 years, 9 years.
Yeah, I know you did.
Before Kelly took it over.
Hey, 303-713-8255. Any questions, problems, complaints? 303 Martino. We got lines open. Doug, I'm going to come right back to you. Brooke, talking about women business owners, Suzanne actually owns quite a few businesses. No kidding. How many prior to Red Rocks RS have you owned? Is this your first business that you've owned?
Yes, it is.
Where did you come from? What did you do before? Was it still solar?
Yep, it was. It was just more on the sales and administrative side of things. So when I opened up the new shop, I knew I wanted to bring installation in, so that way we're a one-stop shop.
So you guys do everything. You do the new sales, commercial, residential. You do, of course, repair for any solar system. What do you find goes wrong in a solar system, let's say after, 10 years? I mean, give me an idea of what people face. And I don't care if it's commercial or residential, but what starts going wrong? Do panels go out after a period of time? Inverters? I mean, what is it?
Yeah, so your inverters are going to be your fall point. Yeah.
How many years typically are they good for?
For commercial, I would say probably 10. Residential, they can last up to 25.
Okay.
But anybody that installs an inverter, the inverting companies usually have a manufacturer warranty from 20 to 25 years.
Now, if you went out to someone's house who had a problem with solar right now, let's say somebody calls you up from Highlands Ranch or Parker, wherever, it doesn't matter, and you go out there, you look at it, it's an inverter, and you know it's under warranty, can you get the part warranty, then you just charge them labor? I mean, typically, how does it work?
Yeah, 100%, exactly like what you just said. So if we get called out to another spot and it's an inverter, it's an easy warranty claim. It usually takes about 1 to 2 weeks for that to happen, depending on the inverting company. Enphase and SolarEdge, you might even have that new inverter in 3 days. They're really quick. If they are one of our clients, then we do all of that work for 30 years for free.
Period.
Yep, it's just part of the contract.
Yep. So, and the reason I ask that, there's so many people. I don't care if it's a new build from a home builder, Track Homes. I don't care if it's someone that bought it 10, 15, 20 years ago. Most of the solar companies are out of business. I mean, there's a lot of people. Now you have Tesla and you have some other ones. But I mean, seriously, we have seen on this show so many solar companies come and go. It's crazy. And typically their model is a lot different than yours. Typically, they're either the sales arm only. So they go out, knock on the door, sell it. Then they bring in the installation company, and you're dealing with multiple different people the whole time. So if something goes wrong, they all point the fingers at each other. And typically, those go away, the sales aspect. Or it is the installation companies. They're out there. It's a contractor that works for these sales companies, and they go through different subs like crazy, and all of a sudden they can't either keep up or they don't know what they're doing, or a combination of everything. And then that happens. But you guys actually, everything's in-house.
Yep, everything's done in-house. And then I also control production at a really high level because thanks to you guys, we've had a ton of business and a ton of opportunities. But I think one of the biggest things is that we're growing really slow. So the projects we take on and the way that we coordinate them, we make sure we do it in a controlled manner. That way,
you have to.
That way, the labor that's working on your projects, that they're skilled, they know what we're doing. We're not just throwing somebody green on your projects. And I think that makes a big difference. We're looking at people over profits.
You keep the quality control. There's been times, in fact, I remember Suzanne and I were in, where were we? We were down in, we were at a beach somewhere on a long road trip. I can still picture the restaurant we were at. What was in North Carolina we went to? What the heck was that place called?
Well, Hilton Head?
Yeah, we were in Hilton Head, and I got a call from you. No, I had to call you over something. I called you over something, and she's like, hold on, I'm up on a roof. So literally, she's up there like doing inspections from her own people. So like after they're done with the install and before the inspectors come out and doing the actual install, Brooke's up there doing this stuff. And I was like, are you serious? Because at that point, that was like a year and a half ago. At that point, I thought kind of, you were in the office, you were doing some of the sales, but you're totally hands-on with your business.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a big connection point. I mean, folks,
big time.
Folks trust you. It's a 30-year investment. So I want to make sure that they know that they can trust me.
And we're going to talk about those systems, commercial, literally how you can get the whole thing paid for. Hey, Doug, so I want to just get everybody caught up real quick. You had some tenants. You put up a get the hell out of my apartment, or I'm sorry, my townhome sign. You started the eviction process. They packed up. They left. You walk in. They damaged every single door. Interior door in there. The carpet was totaled. Hey, do you think they were doing, you said they didn't have pets, but the carpet was so bad. What do you think it was bad from? Like them just spilling like food, like sweat? I mean, meth? I mean, what was wrong with the carpet? I'm just curious.
There was more stains on that carpet than you can imagine, and the smell. And it's like they did have two kids. I'm sure there was a lot of food stains, but it was more than food stains.
Yeah, I got you. It was everything.
Too, even though the lease said no drugs, I don't think they really cared.
Yeah, but you would know if there was remnants of cooking or something, I would assume.
But I'm not entirely sure exactly what it was. I'm sure it was a mix of different things. When it was all done and said, and I sold the place, it was a little over $15,000 in damages.
Oh, wow. Well, how much was the security deposit you kept?
$1,500.
So do you know where they live now? I mean, could you serve them?
That's my problem is I'm not sure where they're at right now. I did a check on the internet, and I believe they're in Westminster.
Yeah.
So what the process is to go to serve them, and what can't I charge?
Well, anybody but you, for the most part, can serve them. So like Suzanne, to give everybody an idea, Suzanne has served people for me. And people might argue, oh, she's your wife. But I'm telling you, long as she's not named in the lawsuit as one of the plaintiffs, she can serve for me. So Suzanne has served plenty for me, and vice versa, honestly. You can have a friend serve, but the first thing you want to do is find them. You don't want to hire a process server if you don't know where they are. There's no purpose in it. So you got to figure out where they are. I served one guy on a golf course years ago for Deputy Dan. We knew where he worked, and I showed up and basically walked the golf course till I found him working on one of the greens and walked up and served the guy. So you got to figure out either where they work or whatever. Then you can have virtually anybody serve them, and that's it. But I wouldn't do it if you don't know where they're at. You could find a skip tracer somewhat cheap. Suzanne might know someone that can help. And what they can do is look and see if they can find a residence or a job. In other words, figure out where they work.
But Mark, let's backtrack a little bit, because his damages were $15,000-ish, and you can only do small claims up to $7,500 there, Doug.
Right. Like I say, one of the damage was and I don't know if it's entirely their fault, but the furnace went bad, but they never changed the filter.
Yeah, you're not going to, I don't think you're going to get them on maintenance, because honestly, you probably should have been doing that. But I mean, that would all be addressed in the lease. But what Suzanne says is important. You can only go $7,500. So that's what I would do. Go after them for $7,500. Keep the furnace out of that. Keep all the stuff that would be arguable. Holes in the door, holes in the drywall, damage like that. They're not going to be able to argue in front of a judge. But so you find where they are. You fill out the paperwork. I think it's JDF 250. You just fill it out. It's pretty easy. It's in triplicate right on the website for .gov or for Colorado.gov. You fill it out. I can give you the link to it. And you serve them with it. And after you serve them with it, if they don't show up to court, and a lot of these deadbeats don't show up, you'll get a default judgment. Now, what people don't realize is after you get the default judgment, then you got to go serve them with interrogatories, which means, where's the money? What job do you have? What property do you own? What's going on with your life? So then you got to serve them again with interrogatories. They have 30 days to answer to the court their bank account information or everything. If they lie or don't fill them out, and a lot of people lie and a lot of people don't fill them out, then they can be held in contempt. Once they're held in contempt, the judge can put a bench warrant out for them. But once again, you got to go out and serve them a third time with the bench warrant order. So there's a lot of work to it. But the good news is, you could end up putting him in jail for that $7,500. They would hold him on a bond for exactly whatever that judgment's for. In your case, $7,500 plus whatever available interest is or accrued interest in that period of time. So, I mean, that's basically how it works, Doug. But before anything, you got to find them. That's the number one thing. So people out there, we talk about collections, and if people don't have money, you know, if you're throwing a lot of money with an attorney, it generally would never be worth it. But when it's small claims and it's $55, they can end up in jail if you're diligent about going after them. That's the coolest part. I thought you were going to say something, Dimitri. I know you've gone to small claims court a lot.
Yeah, I actually went through this process exactly a year ago, and the judge did issue a bench warrant for the defendant, and the cash-only bond was set in the amount of the judgment I got against the defendant.
We had one time from a caller, Jay Lopez. This guy was the biggest dirtbag, not the caller. He'd go out and just outright rip people off. He'd say, yeah, new driveway, he's a cement guy, new driveway is going to be $5,000. He'd give you a price that's unbelievable. I can start in a week, but I need $2,500 up front. Never see him again. We tracked him down. We had one caller, went through all these steps. I was the guy that served him every time, and he finally got picked up by Denver because I got involved. He was in Douglas County on a criminal charge, so I knew. I called up Denver and said, you got a bench warrant out for this guy. He's literally in the Taj Mahal in front of a judge right now, and you guys can come get him. Or tell them to hold him and come get him. They weren't going to do it. I start talking about it on the air, and all of a sudden they changed their mind, and he ended up being held for exactly that amount. Problem was, listen to this, he didn't have any money. And after 30 days or 45 days, it was a nice little stay. He had a nice little vacation. They let him out, but he still owed the money.
Not legal advice.
What do you mean?
We're not giving out legal advice.
No, that's factual. That's exactly how it works. So, Doug, you got any other questions? Because I'm going to cut you loose, brother.
One quick question.
Yeah.
Can I charge them for my hours that I personally spent to fix the place?
It's not going to matter because you're going to have $7,500. Yeah, you're just going to say replacing 5 doors with $7,500 with the drywall repairs, everything else. I mean, just come up with $7,500. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you do it yourself. I mean, you still had to buy the doors. I doubt you went out back and cut the trees.
Nope, I did hire a handyman to help out.
Yeah, just get a receipt from him for X amount, but you can only sue for that $7,500 in small claims.
Not a problem.
All right, man, you got any more questions after that, just email us at help@troubleshooter.com and follow up with us. A lot of people talk about doing everything we talked about, but they never do it. Listen, 303-713-8255. We're going to have some open lines. 303 Martino, I want to hear from you. I want to sink my teeth into a bad contractor if you've been ripped off.
He had a timing chain that went away.
Yeah, he did.
Mark, you have the craziest stories.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
You
he
have
does.
the craziest stories. Like last time you were in it, you were talking about that time that guy like broke into your house at like a birthday party.
That was her, yeah.
Yeah. That was nuts.
Total nuts. Joe Chiano, my friend at mymoneymyway.com. I love when we talk. People don't understand there's a lot of different investments out there, a lot of different strategies, but what I love about what you guys do is the guarantee. You're not going to lose any principal. You're going to make money. Joe, tell me about it.
Yeah, Mark, it's all about just 2 simple strategies. We focus on, the guaranteed pension account, which is exactly what you're talking about, is giving floors. When the market drops out, you need a floor, and that's what this product does. The guaranteed pension account lets you not lose any money when the market goes negative. It allows you to grow your money and lock it in there so that it continues to ratchet up like a stairway.
So, Jordan, hold on. A lot of people kind of don't understand that. So the bottom line is when the market is doing good, your annuity grows in value. So in other words, you're making money right there towards your retirement. It's guaranteed. But when the market goes down, it doesn't ratchet down. It only ratchets up.
That's correct. And with that, not only that, companies nowadays are so excited to get people involved. They're offering incentives. We have one that's going as high as 15% right now for anybody who rolls in $100,000. They get an extra $15,000 in their account day one. That allows that floor to continue to ratchet up and not ratchet down.
And that 15% grows day one. You'll hear other annuities out there like, oh, we got a 25% bonus. Yeah, that you actually take advantage of in 15 years. You miss the growth off of that money for that entire period of time. It's crazy. The other thing I love about Jordan's product and Joe's product, listen to this. If you get sick as you're older and you've turned that income stream on and you're getting that money every single month, just like a social security check or a pension check, you're getting that money and all of a sudden you can't cook, you have trouble showering by yourself, you meet the needs, they double the payment. They double the payment. Jordan, I think it's unbelievable. To learn more about this, listen, mymoneymyway.com, they can help you roll over from an IRA. They can help you do anything. Ask the questions. Give them a call. mymoneymyway.com. That's mymoneymyway.com.
What about, did you do Joe Lazaro?
Oh, I'll come back and do Joe. Tell me when. Mr. right after this. Joseph A. Lazara, he's a criminal defense attorney. My goodness, I hope you never need him. You know, he specializes in DUI, assault cases, shoplifting, domestic violence, any form of altercation. You know what? I don't know how to say this any other way, but even if you shot somebody, he's represented every walk of life, including people that are innocent, people that are guilty, but you need someone like Joe Lazara on your side. In fact, I wouldn't call anybody else if I found myself in a bind. He knows all the DAs. He knows the judges. He can cut a deal if you're guilty, the best deal out there. He knows these people. They respect him. And if you're innocent, he'll fight for you. He'll get up there in front of a jury or a judge and fight his butt off. You got to put this phone number in your phone because when you need it, you need it. Joe Lazara, 303-429-6200. Please, I beg you, put it in your phone. 303-429-6200.
Yeah, Brooke, that was on our son's 6th birthday.
Yeah, that's it. Like, that's insane. I told Aaron that story, and he was like, what? And then instantly went to, like, grab stuff and figure out where things were, and I had to do, you know, a training. And
It's the nuttiest thing.
Well, I don't know if so our garage got broken into like 6 weeks ago or so.
I think I remember you telling me that.
It was the morning I was supposed to show up at
That's
the show,
right.
and I was dealing with the cops. So like he's got cameras in our detached garage, and they're like going off like crazy, and he's thinking it's like a squirrel or something running by. No, somebody's like in our garage doing stuff, and he's like, call 911. Doesn't even like throw nothing, just grabs the gun and sprints out there. And then he like comes back in and goes, in case the cops come, I should put clothes on. So then he came back in, put clothes on, ran out.
And put away the gun.
Well, then he went to the guy and was like, where's our stuff? Because the guy was just grabbing our stuff and then putting it in the alley to like
he
have
confronted
somebody
the
else.
burglar?
And everything.
Wow.
And so then the cops show up, I don't know, 45 minutes later.
Yeah.
I'm like, somebody's breaking into our house right now. My husband, you know, has a gun.
Did they catch him?
No. He's a homeless guy.
Did he come in the house?
No, it's a detached garage.
What area of town do you live in?
Do you know where the Santa Fe Art District is?
Oh, God.
Exactly.
Baker. Where?
No, where's that? Like,
Santa
like
Fe and
Santa
6th.
Fe.
Okay.
So it's like just west of downtown, the little southwest.
Okay,
part.
I wonder if that's near Brennan and Sarah, and they have a detached garage in their garage.
Got broken.
Well, they shut down, is it Civic Park that's right outside of the Capitol? When they shut that Civic Center Park, they all moved and they moved into our neighborhood.
Many,
So we have
countless hundreds.
So as soon as that happened, like,
We got a YouTuber, they moved into his garage.
Yeah, there was 4 of them, and
that's
they were
right.
nice. They were just 45.
But they came?
Like 45 minutes after. Like, I was like, shit,
Taxi
they'll be
man.
there at some point, and I'm like,
You're lucky
okay.
they showed up.
If they started walking in, well, it's detached garage, so it's a little weird with Make My Day, but I'd let them open the door and I'd blast them. I mean, I just call it done.
Had any
Call it done. Call it done. Call the cops in the morning.
then they had to like come back because they forgot evidence because the guy left like his bag and all his rolls, and so it was just a process.
Oh,
Anyways, that happened, and it reminded me of.
All right, 303-713-8255. First time we got lines open today, 303 Martino. Now, Brooke, I'm going to put you on the spot with this commercial solar stuff. The bottom line is, with grants and tax credits, let's say it's what is the average cost of a commercial solar system? I know that's a ridiculous question, but you've done ones that are over $1 million.
Yeah. I mean, it really just depends on your space.
Give me an idea of one either going on right now that you've got almost 100%, if not more, paid for, and how much was it?
Yeah. So anytime you tie any grants to the project, that's when you can get 100 plus paid for. Regardless of where the commercial project is installed, in Colorado, you get 64% of it covered through government benefits, whether it's tax credits or depreciation. So then you're just finding different grants or things to fill up the gap of it.
That 36.
Exactly. So we have a project right now that's a non-for-profit, and they service low income, and they're actually receiving 137% of it covered.
So give us an idea of what the system is. Is it like on a house? Is it on a building? What is it? Just basics.
Yeah, so this is a low-income apartment complex. So they've got 20-plus buildings that we're adding the solar system to. It's about $1.5 million project.
How many units would you say it is?
That one, I believe they've got 19. No, it's 20 buildings. Sorry, you have to forgive me.
Yeah. And they're putting them on all buildings?
Yeah, I would assume that they probably have like 300 units at least.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not very tall. I don't really look at the units. I just look at what the electric bill is. I apologize, guys.
That's all right. So you put it on top of each building.
Yep.
So you're building that out. Boy, that seems cheap for that, $1.5 million or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you got 64% of it covered local government.
64% of it covered by federal government, and then the locals coming in with some benefits as well as those grant projects that are local and federal. Mm-hmm.
So bottom line, you're getting 130% of it.
They're getting 137% of it paid for. Yeah. So if the project was $1 million, they're getting paid $370,000 to do it. Plus, they get to charge their tenants for the power. They have to. Sorry.
No. I just people listening out there, think about that. Not only do they get the solar system, they own it. It's for free. Mm-hmm. They're putting almost $370,000 in their pocket, or they're using it for, write-offs.
Yep,
for tax credits.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So they get that $370 back, plus they get to charge whatever the utility is at 80%. So if the utility company...
So you can't charge 100%.
These guys are low income. That's why they have to charge 80%.
Is that how they qualified for some of those grants too?
Exactly. Yeah. So it just depends on the case, because you could charge as much or more than the utility when you take over that. It's up to you and what you would want to do with your tenants.
Unless if you had an example like that where you're getting some of the money because it is low income.
Exactly.
It's still amazing. So now going forward, they will make... How much do you think they'll make monthly? Not only are they saving the low-income people money because they're only charging 80% of what they would be paying, right?
Yep, they're saving them money.
How much do you think they're going to be billing out each month that they put in their pocket?
So this specific case is in Excel territory. If Excel increases their rates at a 3% inflation rate, these folks are going to make over $30 million on this project.
Over how many years?
20 years.
Oh, my God. How much?
30 million.
30.
I totally understand that this sounds way fake.
It's insane.
Yeah. No, you look at these financials and people are
How
like,
much a
no
month?
way.
How much a month like this year? Forget about the 3% over a 20-year period. I mean, what are these guys going to be billing out for electricity that they're not paying for that they got for free each month?
Whatever it's 80% of whatever Excel's charging. So I'd have to look on those.
Just total ballpark, like $20,000 a month. I mean, what are we talking here?
Initially probably less because you're thinking over 20 years, every year at a 3% increase. That's where you're seeing a lot more of the income is towards the end of it. But
of course.
Yeah, you're definitely making money right away, especially because the solar system's paid for.
Now, if it wasn't low cost and someone has, for an example, I'm trying to think of some. Okay, I owned Goodyear stores forever. Mm-hmm. Some of the buildings I owned.
Yeah.
So some of them I rented, some of them I owned, but now we're talking true commercial properties. So let's take a Goodyear that sits right down here in front of Micro Center. In fact, I used to own that one. I sold that to Colorado Land. So let's say that building, I own it. I don't now, but let's say I did, and I wanted to put solar on there. I want to know how much you could get paid for it, and then how much I'd be saving. But I got to take this break before Shannon yells at me. 303-713-TALK. Retirement planning. I went really long on that first one. It's hard to believe. Do you have any commercial property?
Nope.
Would a rental be commercial property? Just, a second house we rent out? Or would I have to actually put it into an LLC or something?
No, as long as it's a short-term rental, it's pretty easy. Long-term rentals, there's different rules and regulations tied
Harder,
to it.
but possible?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's just where
More
we put
hoops.
the solar. No, all it's where we put the solar. So if it's a long-term rental, we just can't.
Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies are a sponsor of the show. In fact, Tom uses these guys. I want to tell you something here. There's a lot of people out there that when they talk about retirement and helping you out, they're thinking of what products to sell you. These guys is actually a family-owned team approach. They have experts in the family on everything, including taxes and optimizing your Social Security benefits, putting extra dollars into your pockets, the bottom line. But they know Medicare. They know the supplement part of it. They know the insurance. They do know annuities. They can talk to you about estate planning, long-term care. I mean, they look at the 5 pillars of retirement: income, investments, taxes, healthcare, and legacy, and they help you make the right decision for you and your family. I want you to give them a call and talk to them. They're great people. 970-663-3211, or go to RP, as in retirement planning, rpcenter.com. That's rpcenter.com. Sir? Thank you. That first caller was crazy.
Yes.
First thing I hear is bitch.
Yep.
I wonder who he was talking to. I mean, he wasn't talking to us. I wonder if he was talking about his sister.
Huh.
Somebody was driving him out and about.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he was being nice to his chauffeur.
Who wants coffee or water?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I would love some coffee if that's okay.
Black, okay?
Yeah, that'd be great. Black's perfect.
Good coffee.
I'm good, sir. Thank you.
No, thanks to Dimitri. So nice.
You kept having to rein him in, and right when he was getting the answer, he decides to try to interrupt, and you're like, "What are you doing?"
White House briefs on Trump's freeze on federal aid.
Yeah, so that is why that grant, for the solar, is nobody knows. That's why every week I get a new update.
Yeah.
But if you get it, right? Or can you get it and then they take it away? Or who knows?
So the people that I talk to are very CYA. So they're going to always give you worst case scenario. So the reality of getting a grant and then having the government come in and take it from you, I would assume is pretty rare. As long as you follow the rules, I don't think I've ever, because that stuff would be in the news. Hey, I got this grant and now they're asking me to pay $50,000 or whatever. Because it's not like we're asking for a small amount of money, right? I've never heard of that, so I don't know.
That would be weird.
Yeah.
Unless they tell you it up front. Hey, we only have this much money, first come, first serve. When we hit this wall, we're out, whether you have a number or not.
Yeah. Agreed.
But then you know. Did you fly for the sheriffs?
I flew for Denver PD.
For Denver?
Yeah.
On the police side, though, not sheriff. Sheriffs don't have they don't have copters.
The Denver
Tarzan,
sheriffs are
I call
basically
her from
court
yesterday.
officers. They have arrest powers.
That's his name.
Yeah.
But they mainly
from
handle
last week.
court officers.
Unlike Douglas County or
Right.
whatever. Because they have their own PD.
Right. Denver's unique. It's a city and a county.
Well, Colorado's a little strange. I mean, I've lived in states where state patrol, they'll roll you, boy. They'll show up at anything. Out here, they're pretty much highway. They're not CBI. I mean,
they don't go into Denver.
No, but they're powerful though. Our daughter went to what was it called? Youth Academy
Yeah, the
Colorado
State Patrol Youth Academy.
for like a week, man. They'd come in the middle of the night. It was just like military. If your bunk wasn't perfect, they'd strip your blankets, throw your bed outside. You know, she was what, 14? I loved it. I was like, this is all right. She learned how to drive a police car, do pit maneuvers, shoot guns. She loved it. She didn't love the mattress thing.
She also decided not to be a cop.
Right. She's the attorney?
Yeah, she's graduating law school.
She decided she liked the other act of that, yeah.
Yeah, she likes making money, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Even the DA's office, our new
George
Brockler called her up. She worked for him in law school in the summers and times, but she didn't want to go to the DA's office. All right, 303-713-8255. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. We're going to go back to Brooke in a minute, but calls are always going to come first. Hey, Natalie, what's going on with these skylights? Hopefully we can help you out.
Yeah, hi.
Hey.
I had a couple skylights installed in 2023.
Okay.
Just before I moved out of my home and made it a rental home. The skylights that were there they were like the bubble skylights, and they had some hail damage. So I went ahead and called a company to have them come out and replace the skylights. They came out, replaced the skylights. There was also some leaking into the house.
Hold on, Natalie. I want to clarify a few things. One, so back in 2023, you said hail damage. Did they do, I don't know if it was the same company or not. I do want to know that answer, but did they do your roof as well? So you had your roof done with a hail claim and the skylights done, or was it an insurance claim, or what happened? Give me a little there.
I did not do an insurance claim, just replaced the skylights.
Okay, and that's fine. So you paid cash for it.
Correct.
And then after they did them, they started leaking?
There was some leakage beforehand, which was also an incentive for me to replace them.
Got it.
So the skylight company knew that there had been some leaking into the home.
Okay.
So they came out and they replaced the skylights. They ended up having to be special ordered and because they were special sized and they were a pretty significant cost.
What is that significant cost roughly?
If I recall, it was around $1,300 a skylight.
So what would the total be? I mean, how much did you have altogether in the project that you paid them?
You know, I'd have to look it up, but there was three skylights that were replaced.
So like $6,000, a little.
I want to say maybe around $4,000.
Okay, perfect. So around $4,000. Okay, so let's keep going. That was all in 2023. I get it.
Yep. So I get a tenant in, and in early 2024, the tenant complains that the skylight is leaking. It's leaking. So, I get a hold of this company, and they say, "Oh, well, you didn't hire us to replace the flashing. The skylights are covered in the warranty, but the flashing isn't." And I'm thinking, well, don't you have to replace the flashing when you install a skylight?
Hold on, Natalie. If they actually said that to you, it's asinine. In fact, I almost find that hard to believe, although I believe you. But I want to ask Brooke White something with Red Rock Solar. Red Rock stands for roofing and solar. You come across skylights every day. So have you ever heard of a skylight company that would blame not putting the flashing when they installed them? And they installed them, right? You didn't buy the parts and have someone else install them, right, Natalie? They installed them.
Right.
Brooke, just give me your opinion on that.
Yeah, so skylights usually leak because they don't do the flashing correctly. And it is 100% their fault. They should know that if they put in new skylights that they need to have the flashing as well. I've never heard of it as being split.
And they literally told you they were hired by you to install the skylights, not the flashing.
I literally have an email from them here.
Can you send that to me?
We looked up. I absolutely can.
Natalie, I really want to see that in writing because it might be the dumbest thing I have heard this year. Now, granted, it's an early year, but that might be the dumbest thing. That would be like, well, you hired us to put the tire on the wheel for your car, but not the wheel back onto the car. Or tighten it down. You didn't hire us to tighten down your lug nuts. You hired us to repair your tire. It's like the dumbest thing I ever heard. Hold on. And Natalie, I appreciate you holding. And I have a feeling we're going to get this handled for you. But if I don't take this break, I run up against the end of the show. But you hold tight. Paul, you hold tight. And whoever's on 3, we're going to figure out what's going on with this skylight because I can't believe it. Kelly, please give her an email to get that. I want to see that email. I've got to see that for myself. Hold on. This is going to be nuts. You hired us to do your shingles, not the flashing.
Right.
You hired us to do your... that's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
You can't do one, like you just said. You can't do one without the other.
That's crazy.
Well, no, apparently you can.
Well, it's just not what you're supposed to do. You're right.
You can do all.
I'm correcting you like the nuns would. Like the nuns would correct me in school.
Yeah.
Apparently you can.
That was good. That was good.
Boy, that poll says Sue should be.
Hold on, guys.
They're happy about it. They're hooray.
KHWindows.com. These guys now feature Alpine windows. You want the most beautiful, energy-efficient windows made right here in Colorado for Colorado houses. You got to call K&H Home Solutions. These are the same guys that do all kinds of stuff, man. They've been around since 1956. If you're looking for new siding, new doors, new windows, these are the guys. 68 years in business. I want you to check them out, khwindows.com. That's khwindows.com. And Google Alpen, A-L-P-E-N Windows. You got to check them out. If you've got a mountain house or an upscale house, it's the most incredible window I've seen in a long time. Alpen Windows, K&H Home Solutions. Now, I want to tell you about Tom Martino's investment company. Yeah, Wave 8, we've been talking about it. You know, Tom got sick and tired of paying the middleman, so he decided to start his own company. He started starting it, if that makes sense, 4 or 5 years ago. It took forever. You got to go through licensing and everything. But Tom's made a ton of money in his career, and honestly, if you want to invest along with Tom and make some good money, I want you to call the team up at Wave 8. These guys are great. You know, these big firms, you're just a number. You're going to have a conversation as often as you want with Tom in the direction, because people change up all the time. The closer you get to retirement, you might want to switch up strategies, but they're there to help you all the time. Go to investwithmartino.com, investwithmartino.com. Make the call. Honest to goodness, make the call. 303-771-HELP, investwithmartino.com.
Hey, D. That is the right number for Tarzan.
Yeah.
And so yesterday, Mark and I called him.
Like that number?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely his number.
Who?
Tarzan. We called
Oh, I
him,
talked
and
to
it
him.
sounded like it was disconnected. Then
Yeah.
what did you have to do? Text him, and he called you?
Yeah, he called me right back.
What the hell kind of a number is that?
He's just flagging it. He's just hitting don't accept calls right now.
It says the number you've called is out of service.
We should know
No,
today.
it says not taking calls right
No,
now.
no, no.
I don't think
He's
it says
right. When I first called it, it said that. It said out of service. Then I told you that. You called it back and you got a different message. I don't know why, but you're absolutely right. Because it sounded like an old school phone, a home line, that literally was disconnected.
Oh, no, this says Verizon, the Verizon number you've called.
I
is
didn't
out of-
hear that.
I'm going to try one more.
He's on an airplane right now.
Yeah, but
We're going to find out. His attorney got involved, and they sat down. And his attorney's going to call him today and kind of go, here's options.
Oh, so I don't need to follow up until...
Sorry.
He's going to call me
Yeah.
right after he lands if his
Yeah.
attorney reaches out.
Mark got involved on that one.
Okay, cool.
Sorry we weren't clearer about that. You're probably like wasting
leave it
all your
alone for
time.
No. When she says I get involved, I simply called him to see if he heard anything yesterday because I was dying to know. I didn't make any other calls on it. I'm not working that case.
No,
I just want to know if he hired an attorney more than anything.
I want to know if he got his wired.
You guys know a guy named Tarzan?
He goes by a fake.
That's
Tarzan. We know a girl named Jane, too.
You want to be Jane?
I could be.
The Tarzan. You, Jane. It's a very sexist show.
Brooke, how do you like that King Supers?
Oh, right next to my house?
13 and Spear.
It's wild.
What a zoom.
Yeah, it's
What is it?
wild.
The King Supers at 13 and Spear?
Never been to it.
Oh, my.
Is it kind of downtown?
Yeah.
Is there
It's
underground
covered.
parking?
Yeah, it's covered parking.
I've passed it. I've never been.
Don't go.
Hey, I'm a West Sider. Like, I love it.
Is that your neck of the woods?
Yeah, I live in Lodo.
So it's like a real shit show at that
Oh, it's
King's.
incredible. You can't go without a gun, a knife, and an expandable baton. You shouldn't go.
Yeah, yep. So
I'm fully armed going to buy broccoli.
That. So, like, I'm really, I'm like right next to the park. The
That's
Mariposa
funny,
Park
man.
on 10th
It
and
is
Mariposa.
hilarious.
I should know this.
It's like the La Alma Denver Rec Center and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yep, I'm right there. Yep.
A lot of it has changed so much.
My kid got shaken down
it's
for a
wild.
20 from a homeless guy down on Colfax going to a concert at the, like the Bluebird. Does that sound
yeah,
right?
that sounds right. Yeah.
Is that on Colfax?
Oh, yeah.
And so the homeless guy, he was there with his girlfriend. He was only 18 at the time.
Yeah.
And the guy will not go away, hounding him,
Yeah.
following forever.
Yeah.
And the guy's literally like, I ain't going anywhere. I'm going to keep following you guys unless
Yeah.
you give me $20. Finally, he's like, here's 20, get the hell out. Shook him down for a 20.
That's horrible.
Why
It is
did that
horrible.
ever happen to me? I mean, really.
Well, they were picking on it.
Yeah,
They were
an
picking on an
18-year-old.
18-year-old and his
Yeah.
girlfriend.
The
Yeah,
younger
they found
guy.
the right mark.
It's, I don't know. I get
He didn't want him
people
coming
wanting
back to his car and like breaking his wind. He might have said, I'm going to break your windshield or something too, but
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, I believe it.
he had a dude in Denver pull a machete on him.
Oh, yeah.
He worked the Aurora Walmart. Yeah, he was.
Who has a machete?
Listen to this.
Why a machete?
A wall.
I know you can, but who like carries that?
This guy, Walmart, Aurora. He closed up. It was like 11 o'clock. He's going home. He needs gas. He stops at a gas station. He's gassing up. Gas station's closed, but credit card. Guy pulls up right behind him, gets out of the car, full-blown machete, and goes, why are you high-beaming me? Why are you high-beaming me? Miles like, I haven't high-beamed anything. He goes, look, I got a Hyundai, and we got bright lights in this Santa Fe. And the guy goes, show me. And he goes up, and he goes, yeah, your high beams are on. Miles like, no, those are my regular. Here's my high beams. And he shows it to him. And the guy goes, oh, my bad, gets back in the car and leaves.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, at least he was polite.
Oh, my bad. I apologize for me.
You know, 303-713-8255. Brooke, our guest, and Deputy Dimitri were telling me about a particular King Supers that is downtown, and I guess it's quite the feat to get in and out of there with your groceries. And but right now, I'm going to go back to Natalie. Hey, Natalie, did you send us that email? Kelly, did we get that email from her? Kelly. Natalie, that's all right. Natalie, did you send that to Kelly yet, or did she tell you where to send it?
I don't have an email yet.
That's right. I want you to send it to help, H-E-L-P, at troubleshooter.com. And I want to look at that the second I get it. So I don't want you to go anywhere. I'm going to put you back on hold. I have a feeling we might be able to get this literally taken care of today. So they're refusing. The bottom line is this Skylight company is basically saying it's your own fault. When they installed them, you didn't ask for flashing. And this was all in 2023. Now they're leaking. And how much is it going to be to have them fixed?
I'm not sure. I've had two people go out, or my property management company has had two people go out, and no one's really been able to come up with a solution.
What do you mean? What kind of solution? You would pull them out, you would put the proper flashing in, and then put it back. I mean, what kind of solution? What do they want to caulk them? I mean, like literally, what kind of solution are they thinking of?
I don't even have a solution. I don't have a proposal or anything from any company. So that's why I was hoping these Skylight, the people that I use, would go back and fix it. Now, I did pull up the initial quote, and I don't know why, but it specifically does state no flashing, and it just doesn't make any sense to me why they would not include flashing when they install
it makes
Skylight.
Absolutely zero sense. Do you have that original quote as well? And actually, what I'd really like to see is the invoice. Yeah, it's so stupid, and here's why. There's people out there right now going, oh, well, the original quote said no flashing. Who cares? That doesn't matter. She's not the Skylight expert. When I go out and buy something I'm not an expert on, let's just say I go out and buy a roof. How about if the roofer says, well, you know what? Down there in the small print, it says no flashing. Well, that would be idiotic. What happens if it has no barrier, no ice barrier, but yet it calls for it? I mean, did they pull a permit? Brooke, do you generally got to pull a permit when you put in new skylights?
Yeah, if you do a roof repair or something like that, yes, you do have to pull a permit.
Did they pull a permit? Natalie?
I don't know if they pulled. I don't think they pulled a permit. No.
Yeah, I mean, you would have known because literally on your door the permit would have been there. Yeah. So hold on, I want that email. I want you to send it to help@troubleshooter.com.
Sending over.
So Natalie, here's what I want. I want that email where they talk about the flashing. I want the original quote if you have it. If not, that's fine. You already told us what it said, and then the actual invoice. Does that make sense?
Yep, got it.
I want you to send that, but I want you to hold on. This is one of these ones I would really like to get this handled. I'd also like a second opinion. We talked to in studio Brooke White, but Kelly, next hour, I would like to get on. I'm trying to think who would be perfect for this. I'd really like an attorney. I mean, I know what a roofer's going to say. Let's get Jay Bretz for the heck of it, if we can, or his son. But, Brooke, I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? Even if they said flashing not included, it's not her job to understand this. She's going with the Skylight company.
They can't do that because anybody that says that you don't add flashing to a Skylight knows that the roof's going to leak and you're going to have issues. And there's no way that would be acceptable. Yeah. And, Natalie, if you want... totally up to you, but I can have guys out there within the week, maybe the next 2 days, to put together a quote for fixes.
Hold on, we're going to go there for sure. But what I would like to do, we're going to go there for sure. If anything, I would like you to go out there and just verify everything and then give her a quote. That's great. But I'm going to figure out who these people are. And I really don't understand how they could possibly do this, Brooke. I mean, they either need to pay a good company like you guys to fix it, or they got to fix it. I just can't believe it's going to be in writing from a Skylight company that they're not going to use flashing and that they didn't pull a permit, if that part's correct. Can you look up if we get her address if they pulled a permit retro?
Yeah, absolutely. Very easily.
You know what? So Kelly, here's another thing. She's going to email 3 things. She knows that. I gave her the email. The other thing I want from her is her address, unless if it's on one of those. We're going to see if they actually pulled a permit. Hey, Natalie, you just hang in there. We're going to help you out here. I honest to goodness, can't believe this company. So 303-713-8255. Hey, Mike, you hold on. Fran's got a question on a housing inspector. Paul's got a problem with service of some sort. We've got a lot cooking right here on the Troubleshooter Show. A lot going on. 303 Martino. The other thing is, hold on, third hour. Suzanne's going to open the show. Yup. You heard me. She heard me. Y'all heard me. Everybody hold tight.
Stay in her pants.
So I was at the King Soopers one time, and I was at the customer service for some reason. And you know how grocery stores have that like bin, like in the middle of the aisle to like get rid of random stuff. You know,
Like a clearance bin.
yeah, exactly. So they had that, and me and the service guy look over at this lady who's just digging through the service bin, just like literally eating the candy as she's digging through it. And we're both like, what do you do? Like, are you going to handle this? Are you going to, like, we were both like, who? Because who does that? Who sits in the middle of a grocery store and just eats the food? Like,
Right.
I'd never seen that before.
I once bought a jar of peanut butter there.
Yeah?
I got it home, opened it up. There was this huge tongue-shaped scoop missing out of the jar.
my
of peanut
gosh.
butter. And it was still shaped like a tongue, and there were 2 teeth marks in front of the scooped out part.
Oh, I can't even imagine that.
Gross.
Instant trash.
I mean, the
I
quote
took it back.
says.
You did?
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
The quote, literally, it's in your email, fixed skylight replacement without flashing. It literally says without flashing on the quote.
Wow.
The warranties with flashing.
Hellcat says they don't do framing and flashing. They just put the bubble on, whatever he does. Dimitri, you've been around a long time. Do you remember when King Soopers had hot dogs?
You know what? I wonder if he's right on that. That's interesting. I always thought a skylight's going to be an entire, almost like a door. You're going to have the door jamb. So have you seen skylights where you would keep the border, if you will, the trim, and then you add the bubble?
I'm telling you right now that if you do that, you are for sure going to get leaking.
Okay.
So even if that's what was agreed to, it's not what's...
There's nothing proper about it.
Yeah, it's not correct. I'm so sorry. Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Check your email.
Okay.
I just sent you some stuff from the Natalie, and check your email, and Suzanne, you check.
She's already on it.
Sounds like a job for a Flex Seal.
There you go.
That's what I use. It seals it all up. If I press this in all the way,
Something else.
I can barely hear. But if I leave it out a little bit,
Hey, Kelly, I do want to talk to Jay, too.
Jay Bratz? Or Henry?
See if that one.
I'd rather talk to Jay on this.
Okay.
Jay has been dealing with skylights for 30 years. His son has been dealing with him for maybe 2. I'm trying to think what attorney that'd be perfect for.
Any better?
I know one who specializes in nothing but this. He's not
Maybe
affiliated
it's
with the show.
Like contractor
Jack on the
stuff?
head.
That's all he does. He's suing Justin Garcia.
See if he would come on.
now
Okay.
that I know
see
that,
if
I'll
he'd
just
come
leave
on.
it out. 'Cause
Isn't one like
Here,
left
try
ear
it.
and one's
Yeah.
the right ear?
I mean, do you know him?
I don't want to blow out
Only
your ear.
professionally,
Oh,
only in the
okay.
context of this case.
I would love if he would come on about that, just out of curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't care what it is. You can you can let someone deny or certain aspects of a job, but you still have to do it properly as a professional.
Yeah, there's certain standards.
It's like a surgeon saying, "Well, you didn't want to use the clean scalpel."
Yeah, you said you wanted surgery, but you didn't say anything about sewing you back up.
Wait! You want to be knocked out for this heart surgery? What are you, crazy?
Now our Hellcat says that's not the correct way, but a lot of people do it.
Yeah, there's no way that it's leak-proof.
Well, that's my whole point. What does she know?
Yeah, I know, and I agree with you.
Yeah. But that's kind of where they're read the email that they sent her. If you got it, you should have it by now.
Sorry, I'm looking to see if they pulled a permit first.
Oh, good call. And when you do a roof, Brooke, and there is, do you ever roof around the skylights, or you always have to yank them and put them back? How does that typically work? If someone's doing like, a hail claim on a roof.
So typically you don't have to, unless the skylight itself is damaged, you don't have to replace it, but you always have to replace the flashing. So you always fix what's around that bubble to make sure that it's leak proof. And if you run any mid-inspection or final inspection, that's the first thing the inspector's going to look for.
Is around the skylight.
Yes, because that's where people get lazy. So, and they know that because, like you said, homeowners don't know that it's going to be
How would they know?
A sore point for,
I would love for him to come on, Dimitri, if he's kind of a contractor.
That's all he does. He sues contractors.
I love it.
So it's 303 Martino. Do you remember the numbers?
What do you mean?
627-8466.
627
8466.
846.
Or just tell him to call you, and you'll have the producer call. Say, if you're good with this, send me your number, and I'll have our producer get you ready. Make sense?
Yep.
So she's an unincorporated Arapahoe, so I'll have to call them because they don't have it on their website.
They don't list it, but
it'll be
regardless,
easy to
she
find.
still has to pull a permit.
Anytime you repair, like if you're not repairing like less than a square, like if it's small, but anytime you do skylights because they know it's going to leak.
Got it.
Yeah. It's different than a normal roof repair.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why, because they leak.
Yeah. So I'll give them a call and then I'll just email you guys back on the permit.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Or email you back, whichever. But if they did pull a permit, they would have failed it because there has to be flashing. But who knows? Let's see.
Well, it says right here that they're a Class B license in most jurisdictions, so they might not be allowed in or unincorporated Arapahoe County. Because unincorporated Arapahoe County, for me to do solar, I have to have a GC, an engineer, and a NABSEB person on staff on top of my master.
So they might, they probably weren't even supposed to be working there.
I have no idea. I'm just letting you know, unincorporated Arapahoe is a weird jurisdiction to pull in.
Yeah,
And
see
it
if
says
they
in
pulled
their
one.
packet that I got emailed that, yeah, they might not be in that jurisdiction.
Brooke, I learned from Mr. Hollington that if the contractor is not licensed in that jurisdiction, or if he doesn't pull a building permit or a permit to do the work, the consumer is not responsible for paying any of that bill.
That's not true.
And there's case law that he cited.
That's generally not true. I disagree. When they did it this way, and it's leaking, I'd agree 100%. But if the job was done perfectly, they got value for whatever they paid.
How interesting.
But I'd love to ask him that. I mean, he's the attorney.
I read that on his website.
Either way, that's a fun fact. Thank you for
And
that.
I actually looked up the case law.
Oh, yeah?
And I have
DOJ employee. Everyone's a sitting duck.
good. I'm going to go duck hunting.
Especially if you work for Mr. Smith.
Welcome, my friends, to the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. If you've been ripped off, we love helping people. We're helping Natalie right now. We've got some stuff going on in the background. She had skylights, and I'm saying this recap for two reasons. One, I have Jay Brett's listening, but basically she had skylights installed in 2023, just the skylights replaced. And the company that replaced them did not put flashing around them and literally put, this is a little crazy, on the estimate literally put no flashing. But when you install skylights, you have to put flashing around them. So my contention, and I want to get Jay Brett's opinion, I already got Brooke White's opinion. She's in studio with us as our solar expert. She also ends up doing roofing occasionally, her team, because that's where solar panels are. So I wanted to get a secondary look at this. Jay Brett's, first of all, have you ever ran into skylights where you would not put flashing around them when you replaced them?
Hey, Mark. So there is a very janky type of skylight out there. Normally it's going to be on manufactured homes, and the plastic is put directly into the shingles. And so that has no flashing on it at all. We won't even touch those. If somebody's not willing to replace that and put a frame around it with the flashing, we won't touch it. So just to let everybody know, there is such a creature that exists out there, a skylight without flashing, but it is bad news, and you do not want any part of that.
Well, in this one, they literally put, let me look at this. I'd like to read this. But here's the bottom line. They installed them in 2023, and they're leaking. So she called up because they have a warranty on them, and basically the warranty is a 10-year warranty on glass breakage from hail up to 2 inches, and it says replace. Here's what it says. Fixed curb mount skylight. Replace old, dark, brittle plastic domes with more efficient, pleasing Velux skylights. Has anybody heard of these? I have no idea what those are. Jay, have you heard of Velux?
I sure have. I know there's several components to this one right here. What they were talking about is they were going to lift the frame off of the curb that had the flashing on it, and they were just going to replace the acrylic domes, is what they agreed to.
Well, how would that ever pass any kind of muster, especially now that it's leaking? Because what they're hanging their hat on, and honestly, Jay, if you think I'm wrong on this, I want you to tell me. They're hanging their hat on she didn't buy flashing, and the reason they're leaking now is because there's no flashing. Well, how the hell as a consumer would she know that she should have bought flashing? Or what you're saying is that basically whatever they did to these skylights, they would have never got down to the flashing because they just replaced the bubble, if you will.
The upper part, yeah. And so what they did is they said that they were going to take the bubbles off and actually put a Velux skylight down on them. A Velux is a pre-manufactured self-contained unit, and it's normally going to have flat glass on it. And so what they were saying is they were going to pop the old units off and then put these Veluxes on there. But my guess, I would have to double check into this one, is Velux won't warranty those things unless they are put on a curb or the Velux flashing kit is used as well. So they installed those incorrect, in my opinion, just based on the information I've gotten so far. But I mean, how do you go out and install skylights and then say, well, we're not going to warranty them for leaks? That's crazy.
Well, it's absolutely crazy, and they're saying the reason they're leaking is because you didn't buy the flashing. But this is what kills me. How would a customer ever know? How would a consumer ever know? Like when you came out and did my roof. You know, we don't talk about ice. What do you call it? Ice and what?
Ice dams.
Ice
and water shield.
Yeah, the water shield. It's like, hey, you don't explain that. It might be on the estimate. You're going to do my roof and do whatever it takes for it to pass inspection and not leak and be a good job. I mean, it would be crazy. Would you come out and sell someone shingles without selling them everything needed under it?
No, absolutely not. And I can't imagine anybody doing skylights only and not saying that the entire unit is going to be warranted.
And guys, just so you know, under the scope of work, Jay, it says work shall include the removal of the old units before installation of the new skylights and weatherproofing roof side. Isn't that part of flashing?
Weatherproofing, that's it right there. Whether they want to call it flashing or tar or whatever else they want to call it, they guaranteed the deal in that contract.
Well, no, but here's the deal. Then it says fee summary. Here's the price, $32.90, and then it says without flashing, labor and materials to replace 3 existing skylights with Velux model FCM, blah, 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 skylights, and then warranties with flashing, Skylight Specialist Inc., 15-year workmanship warranty, manufacturer's warranty, 10-year, no leak, promise on product and installation when installed with Velux flashing. But they didn't install them with the flashing, and then the glass breakage. But how would she know that? If they installed them, here's my contention. If they installed them as the expert, the specialist, which is in their damn name, if they installed them as the expert and they're leaking 2 years later because they didn't install them properly, that's insane. They should have never allowed her not to have that kit. They should have told her, no, you need to have that.
That's exactly right, Mark. But I think more to the point or to the heart of the whole matter, why don't they just go out there and fix it?
Well, because they're being, okay, well, at least from everything I know, they're not being cooperative. So here's what I would like at this point. I would like, hey, Jay, I appreciate it. Excel Roofing, You hear Jay on all the time. Jay's a great guy. Here's the bottom line. I'm going to give his number out, but right now you guys have the gutter cleaning deal still, right?
We do. Yeah, we call it the Martino special because the price actually went up for other people that just come across us randomly. I'll put it like that.
So cheap.
But the Martino special, if you need your gutters cleaned, it's $199. But one of the caveats, Mark, one of the things that I like to tell people is if we come out there and the gutters are all frozen with ice, we're not going to be cleaning them right now. We're going to wait until
they can get on the books.
Thaw it out. They can get on the books, but you know what? I've had people that say, you said this special and you're going to come clean.
No, get up there on that ice. Yeah, okay.
Well, no,
put on your golf shoes.
Gutters packed full of ice.
Yeah, I know. You can't clean them. I get it. It's because
they literally destroyed the gutter trying to get all the ice out.
Yeah, no, trust me, I get it. So, Excel Roofing starting at $199. 303-761-6400. Give you a quote on a roof. Of course, I got my roof from them. Years ago. I haven't had any hail damage since my new Excel hail-proof roof. Zero. No hail damage. All my neighbors have had new roofs in the last year or 2 years. I've had absolutely zero damage to the roof, period, with my hail-proof roof from Excel. ExcelRoofing.com. Now, here's what I want to do. Hey, Natalie, I'm going to reach out to this company, and I want them to explain to me why they're not going to do anything for you, okay? That's kind of where we're going to take this, and we're going to take it there pretty quick. I understand what's on it. I understand everything going on. I completely disagree with how they're looking at it. And we are trying to get an attorney on, Dimitri is, that literally specializes in contractor issues just like this.
Absolutely. This man is a great resource. He works at Hollington Law Firm in Parker, and I'd love to get him on the air. I just invited him.
Yep, we're going to try to get him up. So here's what I would like to do with you, Natalie, right now. We've got all your information. I assume Kelly's got your number. We're going to move this on to the next part, and then we're going to call you back, okay?
Okay, sounds great.
All right, hold tight, Natalie. Make sure we got everything we need, Kelly. Plus, we'll free that line open. So right now, we're going to have one open line, 303 Martino. By the way, this hour brought to you by Frank Duran, the real estate man. How I love thee. Frank made us so much money selling our house in Red Hawk up in Castle Rock. You know what he did? He got a bidding frenzy going. He actually listed it low. I'm kind of pulling his skirt up a little bit, but he listed it lower than the same models around the neighborhood that were for sale, and people wanted it. So they start coming in, and it created a bidding war. He also did this, I think it's called the Matterhorn. He did a 3D walkthrough of our house online. We had almost 100,000 people virtually walk our house when he listed it on Friday until Sunday. We had 5 offers, including cash offers on Monday, and we chose the best one, which, of course, was way higher than what he listed it at. He's got the secret sauce. And if you need help selling your house, oh, man, is he good. He is really good. And buying a house, I'm sorry. FrankDuranHomes.com, that's the number. Mike, let me see who's going to be up next. I promise, Paul, you're going to be up next. And then Mike's got a question on oil and gas rights. Fran has a question on housing inspectors. We're going to try to get to all 3 of you right after this.
I used it.
Even if that wasn't their bid.
You know, I love when I use companies that I talk about. I love when every host does that. In fact, I think everybody should. Gravina Windows and Siding. Guess what? Nick's coming out to our house, or one of his sales guys coming out. We're going to replace our sliding doors that lead to our 2 different decks on our second floor. I can't wait to see what he's got. We're getting the floors redone. They're going to look beautiful, and we want these doors to match. Maybe they'll be wood trim. Maybe they'll be vinyl. Maybe they'll be metal. I don't know yet, but they're going to come out and help us with this. What I love about Nick and the guys at Gravina Windows and Siding is this. You ready for this? They have over 50 different lines of windows. They deal with 20 different manufacturers. Any price range you can imagine these guys have. They're great people. I'm going to let you know how everything goes, but a company in 1972, his dad, Larry, these guys are great. I can't wait for them to get out to our house. Go to GravinaWindows.com if you need any siding, windows, doors. GravinaWindows.com or 303-472-8462. Listen to this, Vestera. You want to be a landlord but want nothing to do, meaning another company is going to do everything. You get to sit back and just collect the rent. Someone else is going to handle all the day-to-day stuff. And then when you want to sell the house for a profit, they're going to help you with that, too. It's Vestera Turnkey. They look all around the country for hot pockets, economies that are really booming. Then they find the right property that's ready to rent out. It's not a fix and flip. Then you buy the house. They tell you which one to buy. You buy it. They find a great property manager to rent out. And then whenever that appreciation's there and you don't want to be a landlord anymore, guess what? You sell it. You put the money in your pocket. We have listeners that have gone from $200,000-$300,000 in investments with these guys to well over $1 million. Go to VesteraTurnkey.com. VesteraTurnkey.com.
You know, the White House came out and said what those drones were. You know that nobody would answer for.
What were they?
The FAA approved them for various research and...
From the government or?
No, they're not saying that, but for research and various other reasons. But they were FAA approved. It's just funny that no one else would come out and say that before.
That's not a lot of information, though, but yeah. I mean, in other words, the FAA knows what the hell they are.
Yeah, it's like...
So they still have to be governed.
And then did you see Trump's putting out his own payment, or not Trump, Musk is putting out his own payment system?
Well, I wish you'd put it under the Tesla umbrella.
It's going to be the X payment or something like that.
Oh, that's cool. That's how he got, I think that was his first business, was PayPal. PayPal, yeah. He's been down that road lots of times.
Social media platform on Tuesday announced the launch of a digital wallet.
That's interesting.
And
when did Musk sell PayPal?
Mark, it says the launch of a digital wallet and peer-to-peer payments provided by Visa.
He sold it in...
That's where he made all his first money.
2002.
So, according to the Google, his non-compete agreement for the company is dated March 30th, 2000, remains in full force and effect pursuant to its terms. So there must be some kind of a loophole.
He co-founded X.com, a direct bank, in 1999. That merged with Confinity, which was co-founded by Peter and Max to form PayPal. Boy, he owns. Yeah, talk about diversification in businesses.
What a great African American.
Yeah, South African American. Isn't he South African?
He's from South Africa.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is from South?
Yeah, he's an immigrant. He's a naturalized citizen.
Yeah, Elon is.
Can't be president.
Oh, because of that?
Hey, we're working on that.
Yeah.
That's only an act of Congress.
Hey, how did that poll turn out, Mark?
Top.
It was like
Let
80.
it lie.
80%.
Mark forgot.
No, I said third hour.
Yeah? Third hour. We got a 4-hour show. We're in our third hour.
You're opening.
The third hour,
No.
which was 12.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is like our wedding anniversary shit, isn't it?
When you
It's
show up
not
late.
really.
Yeah,
I didn't
Mark,
really
now that
forget
you
our
mention
20th
it,
anniversary. We've
First of all,
technically only been married 19
She's opening
years.
the third hour. I opened the first.
Yeah.
I opened the second. Right now, she's opening the third.
No, the first hour is the 10 a.m.
Listen,
hour.
if you can't
the
do
second
math,
hour.
yeah,
Look,
exactly.
If I say I'll see you next Friday, do you think
here
I
we go
mean
again.
this
Oh, yeah.
Friday
Well, not
or
Betty,
next
that's
Friday?
not the same thing.
Next Friday? Exactly. I know. That's just
the third hour.
It's sensical.
It's the hour between the second and the fourth.
What are we now, Japanese? That you're
Consequently,
dating?
She's opening at the end of the third hour.
That's closing. That's closing.
We'll be in next Tuesday.
Yeah, I know.
I won't.
Look, people on YouTube know what I'm talking about. That's all that
yes,
matters.
they understand.
I'll put up a poll.
It's called Mark Math.
I'll put up a poll.
Or
Dan.
Mark time. Like
Right.
next Friday, this Friday, third hour, second hour.
Okay, I did Frankie. Paul the Waterman.
Pretty soon the Earth will be renamed Planet X. Yes, Case.
All right, 303-713-8255. By the way, this hour brought to you by waterpros.net. Paul the Waterman, he was on just the other day. Those forever chemicals are everywhere. They're in your drinking water. I don't care if you're on well water, Denver water, Lakewood water, Parker water. It doesn't matter. Forever chemicals are everywhere. To get them out, they got a system now. Not only will it soften your water, it'll get rid of the forever chemicals, your entire house, under $3,700. That's installed. You're not going to find a deal like that anywhere. Check them out at waterpros.net. That's waterpros.net. I like Paul. In fact, Suzanne and I got his system. What's it been? 6 months, maybe?
Yeah, gosh.
Maybe a year.
Almost a year now, Mark.
She loves it because of, okay, I'll say it. It's amazing to me. It does wonders for her hair.
And skin.
So it's like, okay. But somehow it still tastes the same. It tastes identical.
Well, that's what you were mostly worried about as we sort of pow
Yeah,
out
because I
about
love her
getting
well water.
one. Right.
It
hasn't
tastes the
changed
exact
the taste
same.
at all.
And, happy wife, happy life, and now her hair's better.
Your hair looks good too, Mark.
Brooke, do you have a water softener at your house? Have you noticed the difference between hard water and soft water in your hair? Or am I the only person in the world that lives with the woman that does notice the difference?
I feel like there's for sure a difference, but I am 100% like a housewife when it comes to that stuff. I know nothing about how our water works.
Yeah,
I know
okay.
our electrical box and our roof, but anything else.
So it all started. It all started at a hotel in New Orleans. Oh, this is doing wonders for my hair. And next thing you know,
You're like, my skin feels slimy under
yeah,
this
see, it
water.
feels slimy. But you know what? I mean, whatever. And yeah. All right, I digress. 303-713-8255, $3,500 later. Hey, Paul, what's going on, man?
Hello?
Hey, Paul, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Thank you for taking my call.
You got it.
Listener, first time caller.
I appreciate you holding too for a while. What's going on? How can we help you, sir?
I have a 2021 Chevrolet Silverado half-ton 1500 four-wheel drive Z71 3.0 diesel.
Damn.
And
what are you, drag racing? I mean, my God, that's a ZR. That's got that Corvette engine in it?
No, it's a diesel engine.
Oh,
But
I thought,
it's,
what did you call it? A Z1?
The Z71, isn't it?
Z71. Okay, I got you a little confused. So that's a really nice pickup.
It is. So I have loved it until November.
Uh-oh.
In November, I was pheasant hunting in South Dakota with my sons, and on the way home, it quit on me. So I called OnStar and asked for an online diagnostic through the code P228C, which actually is about a fuel regulator on the pump, the high-pressure fuel pump.
Got it.
Brought up brought it home, took it to the dealer here in town.
What dealer?
They had it. It is Bradley Hyundai Chevrolet.
Got it.
They had it for over 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I went in and talked to the service manager, and they were really having trouble diagnosing the issue. So finally, they said, well, the only conclusion we can come to is that it's the high pressure fuel pump. So I said, well, what's that cost? And the original price was $7,200 for
Holy smokes! $7,200?
Yes.
Okay, so what'd you do?
Well, I did what you did. You know, I've never heard of a fuel pump being that high.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the majority of that was labor cost at $200 an hour.
Yeah, I think they have to drop the entire tank. So a lot of those diesels, so people know, have a high pressure and low pressure. That, God, I'm trying to go back to my Goodyear days. I know the labor is pretty intense here, but okay, go ahead. Keep finishing.
So he said they had to drop the transmission, etc. Well, I said, well, let me get a second opinion. So I took it to another reputable diesel service mechanic here in Pueblo.
Who was it?
And they could not. It is Big Jim's diesel.
Okay.
And I talked to other mechanics, and that's where they recommended that I go.
Yeah, I got you. So cool. What'd Big Jim say?
Well, Big Jim had come up same deal. He ran tests. He said we didn't find sufficient evidence in the fuel to warrant that the fuel pump, I guess, it'll throw metal shavings and stuff when it goes bad.
Hey, let me ask you something. When this first happened, when you were coming back from pheasant hunting, the check engine light came on, correct?
That is correct.
Did it stall out as well, or just the check engine light came on, or it stopped, or what happened?
No, it stalled.
So after it stalled
and
you called OnStar, did they end up towing it?
Yes.
And that's how it got to that first dealer?
No, I got it started and crippled it into Winter, South Dakota, and it was a Saturday. It was football season. And
yeah.
I found a mechanic, and he told me that he couldn't do the right diagnosis on him because the shop was closed, but he felt like I could cripple it home, and I did. And it stalled on me a couple of months.
Okay, I get it now. I understand. So let's go back to Big Jim. They couldn't figure out what was going on either. They didn't want to say it was the pump because it's so expensive. So what happened?
Well, what I did, he said, look, normally I will, if that's not what the issue is, then I'll just eat the cost. So I said, well, I don't want you to do that. And he said, well, I'm going to call the dealer. So he called the dealer, and the dealer told him it was the fuel pump. So I said,
so he called Spradley or whomever it was.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's Spradley. He just told me he called a Chevy dealership.
Okay, keep going.
So I don't know. And so it's a Chevy, so I took it back to Chevy, so the warranty would be covered by the dealer.
Yeah. Okay.
They gave me a discounted rate. I think it was like right at $5,800. They supposedly fixed it. I picked it up Monday. On the way home, the engine light came back on.
What dealership is this? Paul, what was the second dealership?
It's the same dealership. I took it back to Hyundai
Spradley.
Chevy Spradley.
Okay.
Yes.
So you took it back to them. They put in the pump that they diagnosed in the first part, and it didn't fix it. That's where you're going, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so when you brought it back to them...
before I took it back to them, I did another online diagnosis, and it was throwing the same code.
Yeah.
So I knew that it wasn't the fuel pump.
So keep going.
I just thought maybe it was the maybe, mechanics make mistakes. So maybe there was something that was missing. Well, they called me this morning and they told me that it's the fuel rail. And they want to charge me another close to $2,500 for the fuel rail.
Well, did you ask them, well, how come you sold me this pump?
I did. I said, well, are you going to reimburse me for the pump? And they said, no, we're not going to do that. And the only thing is that they would go half with me on the rail. And I said, no, it wasn't the fuel pump. It was obvious.
Do you have that diagnosis, like in writing or an email saying that you needed the fuel pump?
I do have it.
Hold on a second. Hold on. This is an interesting one. There's a couple. You know who I'd like to talk to? Who is the attorney, Suzanne, the automotive?
Raina Bias.
I would like to see if she could come on real quick. This is right up her alley. This drives me crazy. And then Kelly, who I'd like to talk to right after this break, is Kevin Calkin. I want to ask him a couple questions on this particular Z71 Silverado. Hold on, everybody, including Fran, Paul, and Russ.
This gas engine.
Boy. That's for sure, huh?
I haven't had a fuel pump go anywhere near that. Of course, I like Tom's philosophy.
What's that?
Trade them off.
Yeah,
New one.
right.
I've been doing that lately. It works.
$1956. That's when K&H was founded. They sell windows, doors, siding. Think of that. Think of the longevity in that company. That's the kind of companies we love talking about. Ones that have withstood the test of time because they've got great people. They've got great products. The ownership knows how to run the companies. And now they're featuring Alpin windows. These are windows made in Colorado for Colorado homes. The energy efficiency is absolutely unbelievable. But whether it's doors or windows, especially Alpin windows, K&H Home Solutions are the folks I want you to give a call. If you've been shopping around for any of that stuff, you got to at least have them out to talk to you and show you their product line and get a free estimate from them. 303-421-7100. 303-421-7100 or khwindows.com. Sheridan. Did he say it was a $2,500 or a $3,500? Do you guys remember?
$2,500, and they offered him half off.
No, not the price. The Silverado. Is it a $2,500 or a $3,500?
I don't.
Okay,
I don't recall.
he might not have even
I
said.
don't think he did.
Said a half-ton Z71 3.0 diesel. That's what I wrote down in Tommy's notes.
2,500.
So it must be right.
It's so right.
Yes, it is.
Can't be wrong.
2,500 would be half ton, wouldn't it, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, half ton. I had a big old boy like that, but what was ours? A Ford? Remember, I drove it for maybe 3-4 months.
That's why I don't remember it.
I inherited it when I bought some Goodyears. It was a beast.
My favorite vehicle to drive of all time was an 04 Dodge Durango.
She loved that.
I had the little skull on the hitch, running my kids around like a crazy mom.
I bought her a minivan, brand new, beautiful minivan.
Kia Sedona when Adeline was born.
She almost wanted to kill me, and I surprised her with it. Thinking, oh man, she's going to love this vehicle. It's got auto doors, get the kids in and out.
I'm just not a mini. I wasn't a minivan mom, you know? That just wasn't me. Are you a minivan mom?
I mean, I gotta be honest. I love our Pathfinder.
Okay.
But it's so nice, it makes me nervous.
Yeah.
So I like driving our 07 Chevy Colorado. I mean, that's what I take around for work. And I'll honestly put the kids in there.
Yeah.
Because then if dings or anything else happens, I don't worry about it.
You're not worried about it.
Yeah.
She didn't like it.
You loved it either. I don't think you really liked it.
I didn't have to drive it. I lost more money on that vehicle than any other vehicle we ever had. It was like 20 grand brand new. The trade-in was like around 10. And it was only like 6 months later. It was a Kia.
Yeah.
Kia Sedona.
We didn't have, I got right into that Dodge Durango. Love that thing.
That was a good vehicle.
I was tearing through Castle Rock for 10 years in that thing.
Hey, can't go wrong.
We got our money out of that one.
Yeah. Well, you had to. You had to make up.
Yeah. That's like when you save me money when things are on sale.
Right. We're just always trying to do my part, Mark. You know?
Now this person said, I think it's 1,500, 2,500, 3,500. So that would be 3/4.
They don't make a diesel in a 1,500.
Oh, they don't make a diesel.
I'm not saying it's never happened. Not that I've ever seen. I don't care if it's Ford. I don't care who it is. They're either 2,500 or 3,500 or larger. That's a beast, though.
She has Sheridan Auto Tech on for you, babe.
Yeah. I'm pretty good on these, aren't I? Renew.
You did Wave 8 twice, just so you know.
Yeah, so I'm going to check.
That was on purpose.
Oh, yeah? I didn't.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I only heard it once. You know.
Mark has a dentist appointment. He actually had me bring his headphones for him so he could listen to his headphones during his dentist
I'm going to listen to Crime Junkie.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like Kill 'Em All by Metallica.
Oh, I get really angry at the dentist playing Metallica. Just start swatting at him.
We drove separate. He's like, can you remember to bring my headphones?
Oh, last time I was here 2
I got
hours.
a dentist appointment. I'm like, what are you for?
They don't have those there. I mean, remember Mahoney had the full-blown...
Dr. Kelly would have the screen. You know,
yeah.
Right, you watch TV.
They're coming to town, Metallica.
Denver's talk station. Online at khow.com.
All right, 303-713-8255. We've got a ton going on. First of all, a couple kind of house cleaning things here. One, that woman with the skylights, I want to get with that attorney, so Dimitri's working on that. Hopefully we get that attorney on. I would like to reach out, though, Kelly. Have you reached out to that skylight company? Would you see if we can get them on for an opinion on that? I'd like to talk to them. Why they think it's okay to sell skylights and not properly install them, even if the customer, says, okay, I don't want flashing. I don't understand why that would even be an option. But I want to get the attorney's opinion on that. And I'd also like to ask them if they pulled a permit. I'd be very curious on there, but just see if they'll come on and give their side of the story. You know how to do that. Meantime, I want to go to Kevin Calkins, Sheridan Auto Tech. Hey, Kevin, I don't know if you were listening, but this guy basically has a 2021 Silverado Z71 diesel. I assume it's a 2500. Follow me so far, sir?
Gotcha.
So he was coming back from hunting. I don't know the relevance of that, but he was coming back from a trip, and check engine light came on, vehicle stalled. He's got OnStar. He hits the OnStar button. They pull the code remotely and say it could be a fuel pump. In fact, let me lock him back in here. Hey, Paul, what did OnStar originally said? They said that code was for a fuel pump, right? Or was it a fuel pressure regulator?
No, it's a full fuel pressure. The code was P228C. actually still have all of the records.
Yeah, so OnStar tells him that. He ends up limping it back to where he lives. He brings it up to Spradley.
1500.
Say it again?
It's a 3.0 diesel, not the 6.0.
Oh, it's a 3.0. So that is a 15. They made a 1500 diesel?
Yeah, with a little diesel, yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. I've never seen that vehicle. That's crazy. A little 1500 diesel. Someone asked me right in studio during the break. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen a 1500 or a whatever, like an F-150 with a diesel for that matter. But anyhow, so Kevin, he gets that code. He brings it to Spradley. It's a dealership kind of up. That's Colorado Springs, isn't it? Or where is it?
Pueblo.
It's in Pueblo,
Colorado.
So he brings it up there, and they say it's a fuel pump. They quote him like $7,500 for the high pressure pump. He wants a second opinion, so he brings it over to another place called Big Jim's Diesel. They look at it. They don't know. They're very honest with them. They're like, hey, we're having trouble diagnosing this, but we simply don't know what it is, but we think it's probably that high pressure pump. And they actually offered you to install it, and if it wasn't that, they would switch it back out. Is that correct, Paul?
No, it's close. What he said is normally we will stand behind it. If that's not the deal, then we'll
make it right.
We'll just eat it. But it was just too expensive. And I said, well, if it is a fuel pump, he didn't feel like it was, because he didn't see metal shavings in the fuel.
But for whatever reason, Kevin, I got you, Paul, but for whatever reason, Big Jim is where they were at. So he ends up bringing it back over to the dealership, same, Spradley. And they say, yep, it's the fuel pump. They get the fuel pump installed. Long story short, he leaves there, same exact problem, same code, same check engine light, same everything. And he brings it back. They look at it. Now they say it's the fuel rail. Now he needs a fuel rail. So he said, well, why'd you sell me the pump? And of course, what are they saying when you say, why did you sell the pump?
Well, they didn't say anything about that. I said, can you reimburse me
for the pump,
the fuel pump?
So,
yeah.
And are they saying it was both things? Are they saying it was both things?
Well, I don't know. They've not said that, but they didn't tell me that initially.
Okay.
The rail was never.
I got Paul, I got you. Paul, I got you. So, Kevin, let me ask you this. First of all, could it be both things? In other words, if something's wrong with the fuel rail, can it cause the pump to go out and vice versa?
No, probably not.
So, we're talking, it's either one or the other.
Yep, most likely, yes.
So what would you do in this case as Sheridan Auto Tech? And I'm being dead serious. That's an expensive pump. Yeah. I don't know if you can send it back to the dealer. I don't know how that works.
No, you'd have to, a little salt and pepper. You're going to have to eat it. I mean, you were wrong.
Totally wrong.
Is what it appears. Yeah, I mean, you missed. And we missed. We're not 100%.
Yep.
And it doesn't taste good, but I mean, you got to be straight up.
How much do they want for that fuel rail?
22 something. He didn't give me a written estimate. It was over the phone, but I think it's around $2,200 more.
Who are you dealing with there?
The gentleman's name, the service writer that I'm dealing with, is Narek.
Have you?
I don't know his last name, and then
that's fine.
I did talk to the service manager.
What'd they say?
His name is Brett Calito, and he hasn't responded yet on my complaint this morning. I was trying to resolve it. I just don't know who else to turn to.
Well, it sounds, I'm with, not only am I with Kevin, but I think everybody listening to this would be on the same page. They misdiagnosed it. And now they're saying, well, too bad, so sad. We'll cut you a little break on the next part we're going to sell you. And how do we know that would even fix it? I'm being a little facetious there. I would hope it would fix it. But who the hell can trust these guys?
Yeah. Because it could be a computer as well. There's many things this circuit could be.
Well, that's what I wanted you on for, Kevin, because I really wanted to know, because sometimes what we hear is, oh, it was both problems. You know, the reason the transmission went out is because the PCM was giving it the wrong instructions. So you needed both. I just dealt with that on another call, and I thought that was garbage.
Yep. I remember that one. Yeah, I agree.
So you really think there's no way it could be both? This was either the rail or the pump?
Very unlikely.
All right. Hey, Kevin Calkin, Sheridan Auto Tech, I appreciate it. And honestly, if you went to him, Paul, in the first place, it would have been cheaper. You would have had a 3-year nationwide warranty, but I'm not trying to beat you up. I want to help you out here, Paul. So here's the next step we're going to take. Kelly, I'd like to get these guys on the phone. I would like to get Spradley, get the phone number and get the service manager's name. I want to get them on the phone and understand why when they screw up, he's out $5,800.
Now,
do you guys remember me doing an 888 at any time?
Not today.
I don't remember it. I checked it off. I think I had all intentions of doing it. $888heating.com. That's right. Here's the guys. $45. Best $45 you can spend. Now that it kind of broke that cold spell, you can actually call them up and get a furnace cleaning for only $45. New customers only. I've been talking about Garrett and the gang for years and years. $45. They're going to come out. They're going to tear apart that furnace. They're going to clean it. They're going to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours cleaning it. It's not some BS. They literally clean the furnace. They get rid of the dirt. And by the way, dirt is the #1 killer of that furnace. If you haven't had it done, they'll do it for that $45. One time only. They want to introduce the company and how great they are to you. You're going to love these guys. And then when it comes to high efficiency systems, when you're ready to get a price on something, these are going to be your go-to guys. Check them out at 888heating.com. That's 888heating.com. Sheridan Auto Tech, we just talked to Uncle Kevin. This guy's got the best warranty out there. He can do anything the dealerships do and save you money. And of course, it doesn't void or break any warranties. Here's the bottom line. 3 years, 36,000 miles on anything they do, which includes alternators, brake jobs, alignments, anything, engines, transmissions, you name it, they can do it. He also has some of the best electrical guys in the state. You got some weird problem? They can figure it out. SheridanAutotech.com. John Fuller, Fuller Law, he does a show with me occasionally. I'll probably have him in the next week or so. He's a great attorney, and he's my attorney. He's a personal injury attorney that both times Suzanne and I have hired him got us policy limits from the people that ran into us. Policy limits. You can't do any better than that, and he can do the same for you. What we really love, though, was a personal touch. You deal with John. He's got a great staff and a great group of people, but my goodness, when you want to talk to John, you're going to be talking to him. He'll even give you his cell phone numbers. Do not use these people that advertise everywhere on the side of the buses and the trains, people like the big ass and the smart guy and all these people. You want John Fuller. Put the phone number in your phone in case if you're hurt in an accident. And by the way, he'll talk to you at any time over the phone about an accident. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. Call Fuller.com. I would love if we can get that service manager to come on, Kelly, along with that other company.
Them a message, and I just left the other company a message.
So neither of them are answering?
No.
Bastards. I'm going to give who wants what? Who wants the skylight? Who wants the fuel pump?
I'll do the car or the truck.
You want the truck? I'll give that to you. Scott, you want one? Dimitri, you want one of these?
I'll do Skylight.
Skylight?
Yeah.
Give him hell.
That's right.
I also want to get that attorney, though. I'd love to have that legal.
I emailed and left a voicemail.
I know you did. Did you email him?
Yeah, both.
Did you leave a voicemail?
Yes.
Thank you.
In that order, actually.
Excellent. We probably would have had results by now if you left a voicemail first.
That's what I'm thinking. Man, I'm doing it backwards again.
Oh, man.
Iraq threatens armed groups outside state control. Whatever the hell that means.
You see, Google has already renamed the Gulf of America.
Did they do it?
And
Is
my,
it on
and
there?
Mount
I was
McKinley.
looking this morning.
It was a headline I saw on Citizen Free Press.
Yes, like,
and they also
maybe-
renamed Mount McKinley.
Oh, yeah.
Mount McKinley.
Yeah, I knew they were going to.
What was it called?
I don't know.
Mount Smoking Hill or Blue Sky or
Maybe I need to update my app.
it was?
Yeah.
McKinley
Well,
was
no, it
Denali?
McKinley, then they changed it to Denali, now it's back to McKinley.
I thought it was, what was the Blue
Where's that
Sky
at? Is that
one?
in
That's
Alaska?
Mount Evans.
Did they rename that too?
Is McKinley
No,
in
that should be
Alaska?
next.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Mount Evans is now Mount Blue Sky.
It's supposedly the tallest in the United States.
Mark, you know when Deputy Bo went to Alaska and took a picture on top of a mountain?
Yeah.
That's Denali. Well, McKinley now.
Isn't that one of the tallest?
Yeah.
Let's see.
The tallest
I can't update my app.
That is seriously the tallest?
in the United States.
Okay.
I can't update my Google app to Maps app to show Gulf of
But
America.
why aren't they talking about Mount Evans?
Mark was talking about it. Something.
It's not a federal deal, or
I don't know. I think it was a state deal.
Do you remember when we finally hit the peak of Everest?
in a day?
Wait, Everest?
We didn't even use those Shampas or whatever they're called. Sherpas.
We didn't use coats.
Did you do this online?
We didn't use
Was this
3D.
online, Mark?
It was 3D goggles. It was virtual climbing.
You're not going to have any time coming back.
What are they called? Sherpas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The natives? Mhm. Yeah, they're called Sherpas.
I was going to be a Sherpa.
You were?
That's funny.
but there was no mountains in.
Franktown has no
No
mountains.
mountains in Oklahoma.
It's too flat where we live. There is that Castle Rock. You know, a kid fell off that years ago? They were playing football up there, and he went out literally for a pass, killed himself.
Oh, my God. Like off the sheer cliff?
Right off it, man.
Oh, God.
The future of TikTok and more on The Joe Pag Show. Tonight from 6 to 9 on 630 KHOW.
All right, 303-713-8255. Kelly, give me some updates here. I know we reached out to the Skylight people. Did we get in touch with them, or where are we at with those guys?
No, I left a message with both of the companies that you asked me. So we had the Skylight company, and just for giggles, the gentleman who actually quoted and serviced the job on Natalie's account.
The Skylight.
He's no longer with the company.
Yeah, of course. Because
So
he's a moron and sold her something that leaked two freaking years later. So I can understand. I can, or he quit because he worked for morons. I'm not sure. We're not sure out. The jury's
I
out.
left a message for his manager. So that's where we are with that
I can't
one.
wait to hear from either of them. And then Paul, we need all your info. Here's the deal. I'm going to put you.
Yeah, I've got that.
I'm going to put you with Deputy Scott, okay, Paul? We call him Deputy Dollar. We've got a message into these. Oh, no, we're giving this to you, Chopper? Oh, I'm sorry. I got these backwards, Paul. So, Chopper, you're going to call down to Spradley, Hyundai, and what is it, GMC?
Just Spradley, Hyundai,
Chevrolet, and figure out what's going on here. Remember, Kelly already left a message for the service manager. She's got the name. I mean, these guys straight up sold him something he didn't need and now are willing to do nothing. A bad diagnostic is not Paul's fault in any world that I've ever lived in. Paul, can you send us those emails where they tell you it's the fuel pump and the estimate to fix it?
Yeah, give me just a minute to get a pen here.
Yep. It's real easy. It's help, H-E-L-P, at troubleshooter.com. Help at troubleshooter.com. In fact, if you can send those in the next hour, actually quicker than that, I would love to read them to everybody listening. I do want to read them and see what they say about this $7,500 fuel pump you needed. So hold on, give Kelly your phone number. I do believe she has everything, but I want those emails as soon as it comes in. 303-713-8255. Now, really quick, Fran, you're going to be next up, but what is going on? What is the question you have so I can think about it?
Simply, my question is, since Colorado doesn't require mold inspectors to be certified, I need a name of an inspection company that would do it, that does not do the fixing of it either. I just want somebody to go check out my daughter's home.
Okay, hold on. I get it. Hold on. All right, lot coming up. Everybody hold tight. 303 Martino. All right, Brooke, we will start talking right after we come back, too.
Okay.
Bradley has Chevy.
They bought out a shitload of people.
Yeah, they got.
Do they have one? Do they own that Castle Rock one?
I'm just seeing Pueblos.
Let me see if they have one in Castle Rock.
I think Bradley started in Fort Collins.
Did they?
Bradley, there is one in Fort Collins.
Yeah.
Okay. There's none in Greeley.
If they have this one in Castle Rock, I'm going to tell you guys a story.
Pueblo, it doesn't look like they do.
Who owns that one in Castle Rock? The Dodge dealer.
Castle Rock Dodge. Castle Rock.
Not Metcalf.
Or is it Chevy? It might have been Chevy.
Castle Rock Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. That's all it says.
Who owns it?
Just says Castle Rock. Doesn't have anybody's name attached to it.
So,
I don't want
Foundation. It's a different group.
I don't want to sound stupid because I do know cars, but not these. So, what's a rail?
So it's like a fuel line.
Fuel line?
Yeah, it's a rail. It probably runs from wherever down. I mean, in fact, we've got some guys on YouTube that could probably explain it better than that. But guys, what is a fuel rail there on YouTube? I mean, it's pretty much the fuel goes through it like a line, but I don't know.
200 sounds a little expensive for a line.
Well, I don't know how big it is. I don't know if it creates high. I don't know what it does.
I got to see under our Tesla yesterday.
Underneath it?
Mm-hmm. Our snow grader guy must have moved a rock that's generally not in our cul-de-sac. So a couple weeks ago, Mark and I were driving up through our cul-de-sac and here.
Hey, you're starting the show.
And it was a rock put a hole in the cover.
Oh, wow.
We weren't sure how much damage it did.
Is this where the plastic parts came off, according to Mark?
Yeah. Yeah, the chunks.
Yeah.
It's instead of being kind of flexible, it's really hard plastic. It was fine, though. I looked under it. I don't know who that is. I'm not looking forward to the fucking dentist.
I love the dentist.
Does anybody?
Oh, no, here's why. I was too poor to be able to go to the dentist as a kid.
Yeah.
So now that I can go to the dentist anytime, I love it.
It's a real treat.
Clean it up in there.
I get her a teeth cleaning for her birthday. Valentine's Day, I get her a deep cleaning.
I think that's on March 14th.
Happy birthday, honey. Buy one quadrant, get another free. I like the King of Queens. You guys ever watch that show?
Yeah.
He buys
kind of a funny one.
He gets his wife, buy one eye, get one free laser surgery. The cheapest laser surgery you can imagine. And of course, like 4 days later, she's still blind as hell. And she's getting really pissed. And when she finds out it was on a coupon, she about loses it. So they end up going somewhere else and she's fine.
Yeah. I got LASIK done. Highly recommend.
Oh, yeah. It's the best.
Mark's been waiting for the last 20 years for the better technology to come.
No, I want that. People think I'm crazy. You're going to be able to zoom in and zoom out.
Well,
I actually believe that.
It's coming.
Yeah, but it might not be available for those that have, like Brooke, who've already had a surgery.
Yeah. Well, I think it's all going to be in lenses. So it'd be just like cataracts. So yank your own lenses out and put in the super lenses.
Yeah. I'm sure that's exactly how an eye doctor thinks about it too, right?
Who had the,
replacing a windshield, replacing a lens?
Well, someone just told me their cataract surgery was like 30 seconds per eye.
Whoa.
They got it down, but I haven't done that one.
Quick.
How quick? How did anybody
Yeah, I
had
had it, but
how long was it?
Half an hour, maybe?
For one.
For one.
Because they only do one at a time.
Yeah.
Half hour? I mean, was that like...
Well, from like when you roll into the operating
Yeah,
room.
but I'm saying once you're there and they're ready to start.
Oh, it's probably not that long.
Like a minute.
Could be. Like basic. I mean, once they start, it's just seconds.
When else do you blink?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When else do you blink with LASIK?
I had where they actually cut your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, I had that.
RK back then.
Yeah.
And all I did was sit there and say, please, God, don't let me sneeze. Don't
I had eye muscle repair surgery over the pandemic. Man, let me tell you, guys, painful.
Eye muscle repair?
Eye muscle repair felt
What
like
did you do?
shards of glass in my eyeball for weeks.
Oh, it was
It
unbelievable.
was absolutely mind-numbing pain. Born that way.
Was that from the accident?
Well, they thought maybe I had hit my head on a cruise ship in my mid-20s, but said maybe that caused it. But
She saw stars.
she thought I was born with the issue, so I just see double all the time, especially when my eyes got tired. But she went in and fixed the muscle. Been fine ever since.
Did you get headaches and stuff from that? Seeing
Not
double all the time?
headaches, just like I literally just the TV, the
that's
driving, would just be like
Brooke,
this.
they were so poor, the only dentist she went to was literally the emergency room, right?
Yeah, when they like cap all my teeth in the hospital and stuff. Yeah.
Bradley sold out to Ken Garf, if anyone knows that. From Fort
He's another,
Collins.
yeah.
I think just at that one location, though. I don't think they
That
sold
could
it.
be, right.
Yeah.
It says in Fort Collins, yeah.
I had a dentist hit a nerve one time, and it was absolutely horrible. It was so painful, just doing a routine cavity when I was like 10 or 12 or something. All right, you ready?
Guess so. You want me to make a fool of myself?
You won't make a fool of yourself, no doubt.
No, I need to go in. Yeah.
You're doing great.
Maybe she's busy.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
doing
gonna
great
give her
not
some-
saying anything, Brooke. That's what I do good at. That's my specialty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't wait till the end.
You do coordinate it all. That's hard.
She'll get on the phone with her sister and talk for 3 hours. So, I mean...
As I say, that's classified. we don't talk about that on the airwaves.
Where's she at? Is she close by? Your sister?
Mississippi.
Oh.
She's military wife.
That's bank. Enter it now at khow.com. Keep listening to win on 630 KHOW.
Yeah. Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Howdy, howdy out there. Welcome to the Tom Martino Troubleshooter Show. Suzanne Major here, known to most as Suze. We're broadcasting live on our iHeartRadio and on our YouTube channel. You can find us by typing in Troubleshooter Network. We've been taking on your problems for a long time now, been ripped off, at your wit's end, not being heard. If you need help or advice, please give us a call, 303-MARTINO. That's 303-627-8466. If we're not live, you can leave us a voicemail and Kelly will reach back out to you, or you can email us at help@troubleshooter.com. We're always happy to get back to you that way. We had Fran last hour holding. She had called and talked to Mark, wanting to know, Fran on line 3, about a mold inspector not being certified but needing a referral for one, Mark.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what she was asking. So, Fran, your daughter's house possibly has mold. I picked up on that, right?
Yes.
And you want someone to go out and test for mold? Are we talking airborne? That's really what you want.
Well, she had a pipe burst in her condo.
Okay.
And that was remediated, but that was some years ago. And now she's been having some physical problems. And I'm just wondering, I need somebody to go that doesn't do the remediation and the checking. Is there a company that you know? My question is really simple. Is there a company that will just go do the testing and not affiliated with fixing the problem?
Well, most of them do both, but why do you even care? I mean, they'll do just one, like Genesis. Mark over at Genesis will come out. They'll put the mold test down. I think it sits there for X amount of hours or days. I'm not exactly sure. And then he'll come pick it up and he'll send it to the lab and get a full report for her or for you on exactly what's going on. How many mold spores, what kind of mold, and you'll know everything about it. Now, if you want him to take care of the problem, he would give you an estimate on that if you would like, or deal with your insurance company if that's a possibility. But if all you want done is a test, he'll do that. Same with Rock at American Restoration. He can come out and do the test as well.
Okay. And the only reason that I was asking that question is because I've talked to people that have had companies go out, and sometimes they've been scammed. So, of course, they're going to find mold, and then you pay them to fix it. So I'm wondering, and the thing is, in Colorado, you don't have to be certified to be a mold inspector.
Fran, I fully understand what you're saying now. So Rock for sure. You know what? I want to ask Rock just for the heck of it. Hold on a second. You've been holding long enough to where I want to figure out.
An hour and a half.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Look, I want to figure out how long it would take and what he would charge you. And because you held so long, I'll try to beat him up on price. But I want to ask him about that as far as certifications and stuff like that. So hold tight. Suzanne, Kelly, let's try to get Rock on. We have two lines open, 303-713-8255. Hey, how do you think Suzanne did? I thought she killed it.
That was beautiful.
I love that opening.
So much better than Mark or Tom.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, you can't argue that part. There's no doubt about that. Hey, Russ, what's going on with you?
Hi, Mark. I'm getting ready to put some insulation in my attic, and I just have a question. They're giving a huge rebate for this. Excel is, but I have to do what do they call it?
You probably have to use one of their vendors as well, right?
Yes, and they are one of their vendors, I'm sure.
Who is it?
I didn't call Excel to find out, but they have a $2,200 rebate for this particular insulation. But the insulation is different. I mean, well, first of all, back to Excel. When they do the, what do they call it?
The rebate.
Yeah. There's a whole home efficiency program that takes 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
Now, will they try to sell me other things other than what I need or what I'm getting?
Well, that part I can't answer. I don't know how much heat is escaping through your doors and your windows and other places. I don't know what your attic is like right now. That's a good question. We have a company on our referral list. In fact, I used them. God, I've used them a few times, but it's called Apple Air. and Todd, I think they still do this. They come out, I think they're actually on Excel stuff too. It's a very curious way though. And I'm trying to think of what they would upsell you. Like, give me an idea of like what you're afraid of. Like, let's say, you're getting a lot of leakage through one of your door jams. Wouldn't you want that corrected if it wasn't that big of a deal?
Yeah, but the rebate, I want to make sure I get the rebate for the insulation that I'm putting in the attic. And that's what it's all about, basically. But,
What company are you looking at having?
It's Best Way Insulation.
Oh, they were on our referral list.
Oh, they were? Good.
Yeah. Okay.
And the type of that insulation, that I'm getting, they're putting in is, they say it's heavier and it's pink or something, but it's cellulose.
Yeah.
And that's not the same stuff I have in my house. Up, in the attic now, it's kind of real light and feathery.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I just gotta be straight up and honest with people. So Best Way was on our referral list for a long time. During COVID and during other stuff, they fell a little behind as far as payments. Our referral list, you do pay to be on a referral list because it costs money to run the referral list, quite frankly, and it doesn't cost a lot, but they got behind. But I do want to say this. That's why they're not on there anymore. I gave them every opportunity to basically get caught up, and there was a lot of promises, and it never happened. But now saying that, of all the years they've been on, I've never had one complaint on them. I've never had one single complaint. I would be comfortable using Best Way insulation. So I want you to understand that, Russ, and I mean that. What was the owner's name, Suzanne?
Deb?
Are you dealing with Deb?
Yes, Deb.
She knows more. I can literally say this. Deb knows more about insulation than pretty much anybody else I've ever met. And I liked her a lot. I liked her coming in. And I extended months upon months, if not a year, to allow them to get caught up. And it just got to the point where I was just chasing butterflies. But I would use them, Russ. I wouldn't have any issue. I don't think they would sell you anything that's not needed. So really, I think you're in good hands here.
So what's cellulose insulation? It's not the feathery type insulation that I have in my house now, and they say it's heavier. You know anything about that?
I'm not exactly sure.
It's made from recycled paper that's treated with fire retardants.
Well, I'm more curious of the R value compared to the paper, compared to the pink stuff they rolled down, if they even do that anymore, or the stuff they blow in.
Yeah, I think what the caller is referring to is the stuff they blow in. It's like this light gray, floofy stuff.
Yeah, I got
It's
that.
made of shredded newspaper.
I have that.
Yeah.
That's what we have in our house, man, is exactly that.
Okay, so it's there's they're going to add R52 of cellulose to regular attic to bring it to R60.
So it's going to go up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have no problem with that. How much does it cost? We already know the rebate's $2,200 or whatever. How much?
$4,500.
Yeah, that's a great deal. So you're going to be about $2,000 out of pocket, right?
Yeah.
They'll set up these draft boxes or drift boxes, whatever they're called, and they're going to measure how the home does, like when the HVAC or the furnace kicks on this time of year, and they're going to figure out all the little things that are going on. And don't be surprised if there are some little things. Listen, these guys aren't going to try to sell you windows or doors because they simply don't do that. But they will tell you if there's a big problem there, then you're going to have to go find another bid. But they might tell you, hey, we can do some new weather stripping at the bottom of here. As you can see, you're losing a lot of heat right here. We can do this. They do other stuff like that for sure, but it's nothing major. And you're going to see that it's an issue. They'll point it out, and they're going to actually show you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd feel good with it. When are you going to have them in and do it? Because I'd like for you to report back to me. Would you do that?
Sure. I have an appointment to do the evaluation Thursday.
Nice.
And then they're going to come out to put the installation in probably a week later or something.
I love it. So, Russ, get back with me on that. We might reach back out to him. I really did like her. I'd actually have her come in usually one time during the winter because she is so full of information. I mean, really, I joke about a lot of our members. She'd be probably horrible at a party. Like, hey, how's your year been going? I've been switching over to cellulose this week. So, but really, Russ, follow back up with us, would you? I appreciate that. Now, Fran, listen, I've got our expert Rock on, so when we come back from this break, I'm going to ask Rock the questions you had on mold and testing for mold and certifications, and we're going to jump into that. I do have a line open, 303 Martino, and we're going to touch base with Brooke again after this about getting a free solar system. It's the way to put it. I mean, really, that's the way I put it.
That Deb woman from Best Way.
Oh, you know her?
Yeah, because I got an estimate from her.
Yeah.
I don't know if I hired him for the work or not, but she was kind of scary.
Yeah.
Right? She missing some teeth and.
Yeah, but she knows her job.
Yeah. She and her son or something came out.
Brooke's mom.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. It was. Whoa.
She probably thought you were a little scary.
Maybe.
She sent me all mine.
Yeah, I was just going to tell you, I got mine.
Or CMG Financial, CMG Mortgage. I'll tell you what, John Class is a guy you're going to work with. Whether it's the all-in-one loan, that's what Suzanne and I have. So we have our house paid off, but we have a 30-year line of credit where we can access 80% of what the value of that house is at any time for 30 years. They can't take it away. So if we need money for something, it's there at any time we want it. That's one of their great loans. In fact, they're the only bank around that does that. But even if you have a balance, you can still do that loan and tap into that equity anytime within 30 years. And if you offset it using their checking account, check this out. It'll offset your principal payment, and it's interest only, and it's straightforward interest. They don't front load that mortgage where you pay all the interest the first 15 years of the mortgage. It's just a great product, but they also do traditional mortgages, VA loans. They have people that specialize, John Class and the group, in reverse mortgages. There's a lot of people that sell reverse mortgages. These are the people we trust. Tom and I have known John for 25 years. He has never done anything else but mortgages, and one of the best out there. If you need to take money out in a refi, or if you got a new purchase, you call John. He'll give you all the different options. He's a straight shooter, great prices, great everything. CMG Mortgage, 303-577-7206, 303-577-7206, or find John in CMG Mortgage at referralist.com. I'll come back and do Lazera whenever you want. Perfect. There's Elon.
Hello, this is Suzanne.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's aged in the last 7 years.
Yes, he has.
He looks way younger right there.
Yeah.
I mean, he almost looks like a child in a way there. Mm-hmm. Or a 20-something.
He does got that baby face.
Trump keeps making fun of whether he could have another term, but God, I'd hate to see that.
Hey. Hey, if you're caught up in any kind of legal issue right now with the law, any kind, I don't care if it's a DUI, shoplifting, an assault, maybe a domestic violence charge, anywhere in the Front Range, I want you to write this number down and call Joe. I'll give the number out at the end. But he's got flat rate pricing on some stuff like DUIs. But why we've been talking about Joe for 15, 20 years is pretty simple. He's the best out there. You know, he knows the judges, and you might think that's a joke, but they respect him. He knows the DAs. When Joe goes in there, and let's say you're guilty of whatever crime it is, he's going to cut a better deal than anybody else out there. He knows these people, and once again, they respect him up and down the Front Range. He knows the judges. it doesn't matter what kind of legal issues you're in when it comes to, the cops. You call Joe. I'm going to give you the phone number now. Please put it in your phone because when you need it, you need it. I don't want you out there Googling and all this other stuff. This is the kind you want that number in your phone. It's 303-429-6200. Joe Lazzara, 303-429-6200. Oh, the only thing, what do I got to get again today? A crown?
A crown and a cavity problem or something?
One of my crowns went bad, so there's a cavity under it because the crown's bad. So they got to pull the crown, fix the cavity, put on a new crown. Thank God now they could do all that within an hour, hour and a half because they have the machine to make the crown.
They make the crown in an hour?
Right there.
That's
Wow.
incredible.
As soon as I do the mold, they'll start making the crown.
It's like Ripley's Believe It or Not.
It's like a printer.
What's that going to cost?
What was it, $1,200?
I never saw your quote.
I think it's $1,200.
It's not bad.
It's average. I mean,
Yeah.
it's probably a little low.
One-liners kill me.
What's that?
She always comes in with a little one-liner.
Oh, I know.
It just kills me. It tickles me.
Okay, we've got line 4's got a call on the greatest husband in the world. I'll let Suzanne take that one. That'll be easy.
Babe, I told Kelly Rock's website doesn't work, but the phone number does. So I just kept the phone number on there for you.
Yeah, that woman knows more about insulation than
she does.
Anybody should
doesn't have
ever
her
know.
headphones and
She lives and breathes that stuff.
That's same with Gravina. Nick,
That's why she doesn't have any teeth.
he's got other cool stuff, though. He's like in a band, and he's a cool guy, but he knows so much stuff about Windows. It's like, ay. Well, I guess he grew up in Gravina, so my guy, he grew up in Gravina. He better know about Windows. It's probably what he got for his birthdays. We're getting you a new bedroom window. New interior door. Deep Seek.
That's okay. I check stuff like that periodically. It's not your fault at all. Okay. So you didn't put it up wrong, just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know it was not
Wealth, K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station, 630 K-How.
You know, Genesis Total Exteriors, I was thinking of that call second hour. They've got a deal right now. You know, they do stucco, they do siding, windows. Genesis Total Exteriors, decks, fences, they do it all. But during the cold days like right now, you know what Mark does? He's got guys that can replace all your interior doors. You know, either 1 or 30, the whole house, whatever you want. But right now, because of the cold weather, he wants to keep his guys moving. Buy one, get one free. Interior doors, whatever you want. Solid wood, hollow. He's got them all. But right now, buy one, get one free. Interior doors. And if you have a staircase and an old railing, you know, maybe it's wood and it's been around 20, 30 years. They can come out and turn it into metal. They can turn it into iron. They can transform that staircase into something that's gorgeous. But that 2-for-1 deal on doors, I'd get that done right now if you've been putting it off. I should have told that guy, Suzanne, who had all the damage in his apartment about that, or in his townhouse rental. But it's GenesisTotalExteriors.com. You can check out everything they do there. But call on that buy one, get one free on the interior door. You're not going to find a better deal. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Now, I'm going to go to Rock He's with American Restoration. We call him AmRest. Hey, Rock, I wanted to ask you some basic questions, and I'll see if Fran's got any follow-ups. But she called in, her daughter, they think mold's in there, so we were talking about mold testing, and she was apprehensive about calling up a company to have mold testing, and all of a sudden they start saying, oh, you've got so much mold, you need to do this, and you've got to do this, and it's going to cost you $20,000. She wanted someone that only does the testing and nothing else. And she wanted someone that has some kind of certifications. And she mentioned in Colorado to do mold testing, you don't need any certifications. But I didn't find that crazy at all, because I can go onto Amazon and get a mold test, but then of course I got to find a lab that I trust and send it out, and I've got to collect a sample correctly. But give me some basic information. Is there any certifications in Colorado for mold?
No, because the state doesn't want to get at the state level and the federal government don't necessarily want to get involved. It's too hard to regulate. There's too many moving windows there. Too many moving targets.
I got you.
But it does have an effect, and its mold varies. Like you'll get 10 people, and it'll affect 3 of those people differently than the other ones. So
and it can be different kinds of mold.
Exactly. And so if she just wants to test, and you have to look at the conditions. There's natural states of mold, given where you are, if your house sits in the north or under a bunch of trees.
I'll give you a little bit of background. I'm going to lock you in, bring her up so she can jump in if she wants. But Rock, basically, her daughter's condo, there was some pipes that broke. They had water damage. How long ago was that, Fran?
Oh, I would say probably at least 7 or 8 years ago.
And they're having respiratory issues, her and her kids. Is that right?
With my daughter, she's having more like neurological. It's like she's allergic to something, headaches, and she says she hasn't had any breathing problems, but she's been tested for a lot of stuff. They're thinking maybe MS or whatever. But the thing is, I think it's the mold. I'm sure it's back, and I want to make sure.
So, Rock, just hearing that, tell me how a mold test works. If you guys or your guys go out there to test for mold, you're only testing for it in the air, correct? I mean, you can eyeball around and see if there's any standing mold, but basically, if you're starting to have health issues, it's got to be airborne at that point, right?
Well, like you said, there could be a number of factors. Number one, you have to start with the ownership. And the health department has no bearing. It could be dripping off, which I've seen.
Yeah,
I've been a party to that. Not my fault, but I've done the analysis and seen it dripping. And the health department says, it's between the owner.
Well, I think she owns it, but that's not even. I don't even care about getting rid of it. All Fran wants to know is there mold in that unit? Is it airborne? And what is it? How do we get to that point? How does that work? You guys go out there and set up little petri dishes? I mean, how do you test for mold?
We do air sampling or surface sampling, but we can only deal with owners.
Okay.
You have to deal with owners.
Fran, does she own the unit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she owns her own condo.
Okay, that has to be clear, because that's infringing on another person's property. I can't go into your house.
Yeah, no. Listen, Rock, I get it, man. Most of our HVAC companies, I mean, they're the same way. They're not going to go into a rental unit of any kind. I mean, they don't have permission to do anything. So, but Fran, once again, you or your daughter own this, right?
My daughter owns it, and the thing is, the HOA, when it happened years ago, they sent somebody out, and we didn't know that. And actually, I should have talked to them and said, how often do I have to recheck for it? I didn't ask those.
Yeah, but Fran, that's years ago. I'm not worried about that. But Rock, as of right now, how would it work? You go out there and what? I mean, I want people listening to understand what a real mold test is.
Yes, you sample the air, you do surface testing. but I've also been had your listeners call us who've had issues with their HOAs. We can test, but if it's an issue outside of their unit,
you can't do anything.
That's between the ownership, the owners, and the HOA.
Yeah, I get that.
Let you know.
But what we want to know is there mold in her unit? How much does that? What area is she in, Fran?
Well, she's southeast Denver. She's off of Monaco and Hampton.
So what do you guys charge for the testing, Rock? I mean, what does that run in that area?
Well, I'd like to talk to her off the air about the chart pricing, but the best thing to do would be inside and outside, and then even if in a situation like that where if there's common areas, you do inside, you do the common areas, and then you do a comparison to the outside in general, because there's a lot of factors there. So you need at least 3 areas, or more.
Does she go? Is there common areas at her unit?
No.
Yeah. So, okay, let's just do this. But Rock, just for an example, I'm saying like $200 to $500 to test. I mean, give me something here.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it's not crazy, Fran. And he's going to do
not crazy now.
He's going to do a great job, and he's going to give you the real skinny on. He's going to tell you what's going on. So, Rock, you collect the samples and you send them out to a lab, right?
Correct.
And then the lab comes back with whatever it is, Fran. So let me give you his number is easy, Fran. And he's not going to steer you wrong. 833-7-AM-REST. Hold on a second. And that's for anybody out there. American Restoration, 833-7-AM-REST. And Kelly, give Fran that number off air if she needs it. Everybody hold tight. When we come back from this break, we've got Rianne, Russ Crystal, and I've got multiple questions on the free commercial solar systems. So we're going to go to Brooke after this. Hold tight.
That's how his brain processes it.
Well, it pretty much is, but you just have to have that tax liability. 'Cause
almost free.
Yes, there's steps. Mm-hmm.
Did you get that email?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure did.
I never signed up, so I can't.
You should be able to just click on the link, but maybe not.
Oh.
And then scroll all the way down for the latest.
Who is this, Dimitri? Who are we talking about? Remember this guy that we couldn't get on?
He bought a police car from the government that turned out to be stolen.
Oh my God, that's a great story.
What?
Yeah. So Kelly told me, she responded, she said she already called the guy asking him to come back. But that would be awesome. I couldn't wait to hear the story.
Oh
now,
my God.
Is he using the wrong adjective that he's bought?
All right, 303-713-8255, 888heating.com. $45. Best $45 you're going to spend. Here's the deal. They're going to come out. They're going to clean that furnace. They're going to tear it apart. Anybody in this room, anybody listening on the podcast, anywhere else, listen to this. First-time customers only. But Garrett and the gang are going to come out and clean the furnace. It's not come out and try to sell you something. They're going to come out and clean the furnace. They want to get rid of all the dirt. That's the #1 killer of a furnace. They want to put a sticker on that furnace. Then in the future, by the way, you get a no breakdown guarantee on that, all for $45. But then in the future, your AC's not working. You got a problem with your water heater. You got a problem with the furnace. You're going to know who to call. You're going to love the company. You're going to love their technicians. The ownership is absolutely great. But you have to all start out right now at 888heating.com. You can schedule it right there on their website. It's unbelievable. Great people, great company. I have personally been talking about Garrett for 15 years. 888heating.com. Gravina, we talk about windows. How about if we talk about a company that has been around since 1972 and a company that has 50 lines of windows? Maybe you got a fix and flip or a rental. You need something basic. I'll say it's something cheap, inexpensive. Or maybe you got a $10 million house. You want the best of the best. These guys have 50 lines of windows, 20 different manufacturers, gorgeous products. They also can help you pick stuff out. In fact, Nick and the gang are coming out to our house. We're replacing our sliding glass doors. I have no idea if we're going vinyl, wood, metal. We're going to learn about everything really soon, hopefully next week, and they're going to be doing the job. GravinaWindows.com, GravinaWindows.com. Please check them out. They're great people. I'll get Nick back in studio real soon. GravinaWindows.com.
Dimitri, what I'm thinking is there's two possibilities. The cops confiscated the car. The original owner, somewhere along the line, reported it stolen, and it never got off the stolen car list.
It's a police car that he bought.
Well, that would be
like an actual surplus police car.
I find that hard to believe.
Me too. That's why
but hold on. They could have sold it at one time, and then someone bought it. They reported it stolen. It was not that it was stolen from the police. It was stolen from the second owner.
Yeah, that certainly is a possibility. My understanding of the call, however, was he bought it from the police department.
Yeah.
From the auction, the
From
Denver
the
police auction.
Like the government surplus auction, and it's a police car.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be stolen.
That's where I wonder if he's using the term.
Yeah.
It's a police car because
Yeah.
it came from the police auction.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Clearly, the cops didn't report their own car stolen. But it would be great. It would be super fun to hear the story.
I was a supervisor of the police maintenance.
Really?
For a couple of years. And trust me, we had no cars.
Yeah, I'd love to get a low mileage, low hours car.
No, you don't.
If it's a police car, they probably
not the way the cops drive cars.
It sucks.
We've had plenty of calls over the years, including recently where someone bought a vehicle that was traded into a dealership.
Yeah, stolen.
And it was stolen.
Yeah. Oh, that.
I could see that happening a lot. I want to hear that.
More than you'd think.
Yeah.
Mark, you have one more house spot to do.
What do I got?
I think it's Renew.
It's Red Rocks.
Renew Innovations, and then to
change your name to Rojo.
Rook for some questions.
There's okay. Have you guys ever drink those Celsiuses? They're like insane amount of caffeine.
No, I don't generally drink those. Do you?
Yeah, I have been. It just like depends on the flux.
Tell her about my employee that was drinking that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like wean myself off because it's only like when it's like a really
energy
hard day that I
drink.
drink.
Yeah.
So today I feel like an idiot. Like I feel like I'm slow.
Like you're not
I
sharp.
haven't drank it today.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Like because I drink
I
it
see
like
it.
once.
You know what's funny
for the
about
last
that?
2
I've
months,
seen
3
that
days.
brand. To me, it looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
White Claws. Like I automatically think that's alcoholic.
Oh yeah, no, it's right. So my husband, we go to Costco too, love them.
Mm-hmm.
So he bought like hard seltzers, and they're right next to the Celsius.
Celsius.
So
And
I
they
had to do a double take.
Oh, it looks like it's an alcohol drink.
Yeah, I had to do a double take when I.
It is if you add tequila.
Yeah, some rum. How much caffeine is in there? You know?
I had an employee that drank, what were the monsters?
I don't know if that's
Constantly.
It's just,
5 years.
today. So if I'm saying
He found out his heart had been running stuck at 175 beats per minute.
Oh my God.
When they found out, he never went into the doctor. When he finally went into the doctor for something else and they figured this out, they sent him directly to the hospital. They put the pads on him and shocked him out of it, got his heart rate back down. Within 3 days, it jumped way back up. So he ended up having a pretty major surgery, and they said it was all due to drinking that Monster and Red Bull for, 5 years. But he would drink like, oh my God, 5, 6 a day. And Monsters are this big.
Yeah, 5, 6. That's how do you sleep? You drink that many.
I don't know how you don't know your heart beats 175 for a year.
That's also true. Did they put like a pacemaker in?
Yes. They couldn't fix it. They figured that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
Defibrillator.
Yeah, he was young too. All right, 303-713-8255. I have to do this. I promise, Crystal, hold tight and Russ. But, okay, so it was funny. During the break, when I left, I said, yeah, we're going to talk about those free solar systems. And Brooke was like, oh, you make me so nervous when you say that. Well, I get that. But the bottom line is really, after the grants, I really want people to understand this because we have had so many listeners call you, and now they've had solar systems for their commercial projects that literally have cost them zero. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And some people literally have put money in their pocket and they have the solar system at no cost.
Yep.
So if that's not free, I don't know what is free. Now, one of the caveats, for example, is you do pay out of pocket and then some of the grant money reimburses you. You have to pay for it. Is that correct?
Yeah. Everything with solar is a reimbursement.
Yeah, so it's a reimbursement, and some are tax credits. So if you never owe the government any money ever, they might not help you, but people can actually buy the tax credits.
That's correct.
So you can still benefit from tax credits even if you don't have a tax bill.
Correct.
So we're talking commercial, and what when I do your spots. I don't know if you like them or not, but I'll say, man, she's got a nose for sniffing out the money. And it's true. You find different grants. So we have, there might even be city grants, but in general, you have state grants and you have federal grants.
Yep.
So state of Colorado and them. Between those two, and let's say, I'm just going to throw a number out there, $100,000 to keep it easy. $100,000 commercial solar system. How much can you typically get covered with the grant money for those two? And it's always different depending on what the project is. I get that. But I'm saying typical. Let's say it's a quadplex or a duplex or something, a commercial project. Let's say a quadplex. So you rent out to 4 different people. And it's an LLC, it's a commercial property, and you're going to do a $100,000 solar system. Give us an idea of what the grant money would be.
Yeah, so with that kind of project, I would assume that you'd get $108,000, or I'm sorry, $108,000. Oh, I can't talk. $100,000 back.
Yep.
And then you would also be able to charge your 4 tenants for what their electric bill used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So think
you'd
of
have
that.
annual revenue as well.
So you get your $100,000 back.
Yep.
So now you have a free solar system.
Yep.
And they own it. There's no Uncle Sam doesn't own it. They literally own it.
They own it. Yep.
And there's no promises at this point what to do with it.
No, not at all.
In other words, this sounds stupid, but if they wanted to sell it, I realize how dumb that sounds, but really they can do it. They could sell they don't have to hold on to that fourplex for 10 years. They can do whatever they want with the solar system, the fourplex, it's theirs, they got reimbursed.
Yep. As soon as it's on the roof, it's theirs to do as they want to.
Okay, then instead of your tenants, those 4 people, paying directly to Excel, for example, you literally could sell them the electricity. You have to discount it by 20%, but you're paying nothing for it.
Yep.
Because the system's paid for.
Yes.
Which is absolutely insane. That's when people out there go, it's too good to be true. I know they do. Because I say that. I've said that to you numerous times until we had a lot of people call up going, it's crazy. So there's one scenario where you become the electric company and you make money every month on a solar system that costs you nothing net. I mean, that's incredible. The second option, if people want to build an array out there, I know one of our callers did that. You actually did a ground system. How does that work? And who do they sell power to? What is a ground system?
Yeah, if they want to build a solar field themselves, they definitely can do so. There's a ton of grants that are open to do that. And depending on the utility company, depends on how much they get paid.
So if you got somebody out in Elizabeth that's sitting on 35 acres, and they're going to make part of it commercial. I mean, once again, it's got to be something commercial, right?
Yeah, it needs to be tied to a small business or a farm, some sort of ag.
Oh, okay, perfect. But whatever it is, a business. So you would go out there and you would build an array just out in the field, basically. But who buys the power? I mean, I don't understand who would buy the power.
The utility company that's in that area. So if it's Elizabeth, it'd probably be Core or Mountain View. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
So they would buy it.
Yep, exactly.
And you can get close to 100% of that paid for as well, generally through grants?
Yeah, depending on how the utility company is going to work with it.
So it depends on where you are and what utility company.
Exactly, and what area it is. So you're looking at between 108% to 134%
Well, let's talk. Give me one you know. Elizabeth, Kiowa. Give me something.
Yeah, if it's in a designated low income area, then you're looking at getting 130% of the project paid for. So again, $100,000 to do the solar. You're looking at recouping 130.
So literally, you not only do you have a free solar array that's going to be generating profit for you every month, literally, because you're selling all that power directly to Core or whoever it is, whatever power company it is, but you're going to put $30,000 in your pocket.
Yeah, and then solar fields, you're not making as much because the utility company is going to pay you wholesale, but you're still, I mean, if the system's free and you're not using the land for anything else.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, if $500 a month, I'd be happy as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, what can an array, I mean, like how big, what's a big array? Like an acre? I mean, that would be huge, right?
Yeah, so typically you want to stay below 5 megawatts, which would be 10 acres. And the reason being is that there's different tax benefits when you go over that 5 megawatt.
Got it.
And it's less advantageous.
And just out of, not exact price by any means, but if you had this 5 megawatt system or under, let's say 5 megawatt, what would you generally generate dollar-wise per month?
So for these bigger projects, I usually look on an annual basis.
Yeah,
so
fine.
for 5 megawatts, you're probably looking at bringing in $100,000 a year.
That's insane. It just makes you want to go out and buy something in Kiowa. In fact, the funny part is, I might actually have that conversation with you. It's like, where should we go set something up? What is the best area to do this where we can max out that investment? Because to me, I just don't even understand why everybody's not doing it, Brooke.
If you were really asking for a recommendation, I would do like Cripple Creek or anything that was a mining or a part of coal or anything.
Why is that?
Because dirty energy places, quote unquote, they get more tax benefits when they go solar.
So Cripple Creek, if I went up there and bought, I don't know, we'd have to make sure it's zoned right and all that, but let's just go from there. An acre?
Yeah, if you did an acre, and again, we'll just use $100,000 because it's easy. Of that $100,000, $96,000 of it would be covered through government benefits.
Plus, I'd still have tax credits.
Plus, you'd still have the grants.
Oh my God!
Yeah, so
wait, say that again. 96% would be covered by what?
Just your tax credits.
So instead of paying Uncle Sam a couple $100,000 a year, basically I'd skate half of that for at least 1 year.
Yeah.
And then you would still get me grant money?
Yeah, so of that $100,000 project, you'd probably recoup an additional $50,000 back, so $150,000 of that kind of project. Like I said, if you can find oil or coal land that can be designated a certain way and it's tied to a low income.
That's incredible. Listen, I'm going to give her number out. We talk about Red Rocks all the time. Listen, for all the people that just own homes and want a great solar system, you call her as well. I mean, they do everything. In fact, they'll fix old machines. They'll do whatever when it comes to solar. Everybody is in-house, but the most impressive part about that company is the lady that runs it, and that's Brooke. And quite honestly, I am not kidding you. Everything she just said, she can tell you exactly how it works. 303-704-2449. I love when she's on. 303-704-2449 or redrocksrs.com. Everybody hold tight. I know that's a lot to digest, but I promise you, it's worth the phone call if you have or want a commercial project.
No reason. Like I was telling Dee, I've got folks that own land in Cripple Creek. They just won't have the money to front it. So we're just been looking for investors to take on that project.
Will they sell the land? I don't know if I want to be a partner with somebody, but if they can't afford to do it, they should just sell the land to me.
Yeah, they might be open to that. Or they might be open to like a lease agreement where you own the land for 20 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
We'll talk to them about that. I'm up for something like that for sure.
No,
as long as it gives your blessing.
They said 20 years is, sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I just got to do this here. I think Vestera, I already forgot the other one. Crystal. Fuller. So imagine if you knew someone that could find a hot economy around the country, not only find something, maybe Microsoft's coming into town or something, whatever it is, but it's up and coming. They have the ability to find that. Then they have the ability to find homes for sale that are in great shape. Then they have the ability to find the best property managers. You buy the house, the property manager collects the rent and maintains the house. You are a landlord with zero work. You just bought the house. You own the house. Then as it appreciates, because it's a hot zone, you can sell it anytime you want. Well, I found that person. That's Barry. He owns VesteraTurnkey.com. He's been doing this for 30 years. We have listeners that have invested $200,000-$300,000 into homes around the country and are now well worth over millions. They have made that much money with Barry. Check them out, VesteraTurnkey.com. VesteraTurnkey.com. My favorite attorney, John Fuller, Fuller Law. You know what John did for us? He got us maximum, and I mean absolute maximum policy limits from the lady that T-boned Suzanne and I. Maximum. We got every penny her insurance company had. A year later, our daughter was coming home from work on I-25, got rear-ended. Same exact thing. Car was totaled, injuries. John Fuller got us maximum again. And we always dealt with John. You're not going to deal with 100 different people like these big places do. Listen, John has a certain number of cases he takes on. He's over each and every one of them. He's there to hold your hand. He's there to maximize the claim. In fact, when he was done with both of our cases, not only did he get maximum, then he went to the hospital, the chiropractors, the doctors, and he negotiated all those bills down to put more money in our pockets, and he did it incredibly well. John Fuller, Fuller Law, 303-597-4500, or just go to Call Fuller. That's callfuller.com.
Sorry, Chop, you're good now.
I didn't think I was. Can you do non-roof installs? Yeah,
That's what, like an array thing.
Yeah,
That's what you're
that's
talking about.
Have you guys seen that one in Vegas at the line into California? It's probably got to be, oh my God, 50 acres.
Yeah, it's massive.
It's massive.
Because what else are you going to do in the desert?
Nothing.
Yeah.
But how it works is there are mirrors that point to things of water. The water heats up, and that's the solar. That's crazy.
It's nuts. Yeah. Carports are the new thing to do. Whatever.
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah, you build up the carport. You can put RVs under it or anything else that you'd want to.
Whatever happened to that guy that you were interested in that wanted to build towers?
Oh, I remember that. It was a call.
What were the towers?
The things.
They're
the
literally
sunroof.
towers.
Whatever, yeah.
So you it's like taking a building block, but the sides are solar panels. So you build a tower of solar.
Oh.
I think what they were asking for, how they were going to dig it or something like that, it wasn't going to adhere to code in Colorado without it being really expensive. So Colorado's really hard to get solar passed through, which is great. It means that, you don't have cowboys doing it. But yeah, I think that's what it was. Because it was a really cool idea.
I remember that call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who's in tomorrow again?
Become the banker.
You came too late in my life. I had 160 acres of DIA.
You at DIA, that's what they're making right now. They're solar fields.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're huge. Huge projects.
I just want to make sure it makes sense. How big is this hypothetical array that would produce up to $100,000 a year in revenue?
That'd be 5 megawatts.
So did this come from you originally?
Huh?
How many acres is it?
10 acres.
And roughly speaking, what would the installation cost be?
Out of pocket, something like that, you're looking at $2 price per watt.
$1 million?
No, it'd be about like 10 million, maybe a little bit more, depending on the ground.
$10 $10 million to make 100,000 a year.
No, that's just 1 year. And then you have the equity of wherever you're building it in the system.
The building cost is $10 million.
So to build it is 10 million, but if you build it in Cripple Creek, you're getting $9.6 million back. So you're only out of pocket 400,000 as soon as you have the tax liability, but immediately. So if you owe the IRS $10 million, you'd get it back that year.
I wish I owed the IRS. If you owe the IRS $10 million, you're in good shape.
Yeah.
You better not be bitching to anybody.
I would be complaining.
I remember bitching at my accountant. He's like, shut the fuck up.
The sweet spot to hit with the grants is right around a 1 megawatt, because that's a $2 million project. because the grant pays $1 million. So if you do that project, you're talking about $2 million to the project, 1.9 right coming back to you, and then you get the other $1 million in the grant. So you're up almost $1 million.
To me, the biggest play is those fourplex, duplex scenarios.
Easier than ever to discover new stations you'll love, plus the new trending section and the lyrics to all your favorite songs.
Love the new look of the iHeartRadio app, guys.
It's everything you love about your car radio in the palm of your hand. Find out what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
All right, 303-713-8255, Renew Home Innovations. Beautiful porcelain sheets, durable shower walls, many colors, no maintenance, quartz solid surface. These things, if you just want someone to come in a very quick amount of time, redo your shower and make it look brand new, that's Nick and the gang at Renew Home Innovations. Check them out at renewhomeinnovations.com. renewhomeinnovations.com. Listen, we're going to have a lot more tomorrow, a lot of updates from the calls today. We're going to get in touch with that dealership. We're going to talk to that skylight company. We're going to shake some bones out there. Thank you to Brooke for being in studio with us. RedRocksRS.com.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino and stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app. This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
For nearly 40 years now, kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, finished basements, and windows and doors. Done right. Bank financing or significant cash discounts. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right. DRHI.com or 800-362-8370.
Seeking a career with meaning? Deliver AI to impact our nation's intelligence. Support digital transformation at critical government agencies. Work on the missions that matter at GDIT. Explore careers in technology and intelligence at gdit.com/careers.
Will you have the income you need for retirement? Worried about your investments? There's something you can do about it. A plan guaranteed in writing not to lose a dime. Guaranteed returns. Income for life. Call now for a free retirement evaluation and get a free best-selling book by certified financial planner Joe Chiano. 303-779-6600. The book, Smart Money Moves. And it's free. 303-779-6600. Free retirement review and a book. 303-779-6600.
Guide Dog partners bring greater freedom, confidence, and mobility. They are trusted friends that offer new opportunities for social interaction and greater independence. Guide Dogs of America is a nonprofit organization that provides these loyal and loving dogs free of charge to people who are blind or visually impaired. To learn more about Guide Dogs of America,